the obligation necessary for a schedule, for instance. But we have more Trinity Series action. We have 4 matches a week that take place. And here is our next one, G2 Esports taking on Team LUL. And this is really where Trinity Series comes together, is all 9 classes being represented across both teams. At the start of each match, teams will ban 2 of the opposing classes, and they will not be available for play. Of the 7 remaining, teams will then bring 6 of those classes to the table, meaning they will omit one of those 7 remaining classes. They then play a last hero standing match where the first team to take 6 wins takes the set.
That is correct, and most oftentimes you'll see the bans be Priest.
Yeah, I mean, Priest is, I think, just so strong, and it's a very difficult deck to build reliable counters to due to the nature of power that it can get if it couples together Raza and Shadow Reaper Anduin.
Right, there are some classes that just almost have no viable archetypes that can beat Priest, but wow, a kind of different ban coming out here from G2. They're banning the Shaman. This might be because they realize the strength of Paladin from week 1.
I think that is very likely to be the case here. I mean, again, G2 was one of the teams that had the most success in Trinity Series last season with Paladin, and it seems to be strong here, and G2 omits their Warrior from play.
So right off the bat, it seems to me, and so it probably seems to Team LUL, that the plan from G2 is to take out as many decks as they can with all their other decks, and then just try and sweep with Murloc Paladin once it has no counters left, because they've banned the most popular counter with, you know, Shaman being taken away. So kind of cool that we're seeing this trend slowly progress to where players are, you know, respecting Paladin more and trying to utilize it offensively more in the lineup.
And there you see it. Tice is going to be piloting Paladin and Warlock. RD is going to be on Shaman and Mage. And Lothar, the most handsome man in Hearthstone, is going to be on Rogue and Hunter. Though they will be piloting these decks individually, they will be working with their team to help make decisions. But ultimately, if something's tough, it comes down to that final choice.
Right. Whoever the pilot is gets the last say, and they could disagree with both of their teammates if they wanted.
Yeah, definitely could. And there you see RDU. He was at the Spring Championships. He was 1 game away from making it to World Championships. It's been such a long journey for him, and he continues to keep high spirits and work forward. But there is Team LUL. Zalay is going to be piloting Druid and Paladin. Chaki's going to be on Mage and Warlock, and Muzzy going to be on Rogue and Warrior. 2 players on this team hold the #1 and #2 spots in points in the Americas region.
Right, so they've definitely put in a lot of work, a lot of effort to be able to hold that title. That race was really fun to watch, as constant top 10 ladder finishes between both of these guys for repeated seasons in a row, constant top 8s in tournaments, top 4s in tournaments to try and get points. Every single month, these players got the most available points from Open Cups that they could. So these guys were really testing the limits of how many HCT points you could really get. And on the other side of things, RDU was the last call, almost won the last call qualifier last year.
That's right. He lost to Pavel in the finals.
Yeah, he was crushing it on points. And again, this year was very close to winning the EU last call point region. So these are all players that play the game a lot.
Not to mention Tice is a 2-time European champion.
Oh, yeah.
As well. There is, I mean, this is a stacked match that's taking place here where the results are concerned. And I want to talk a little bit about the success that Zalay has had, because he kind of came out of nowhere. He was obviously a very strong player, and his performances in HCT were somewhat lacking. That's part of the nature of tournaments, is that you'll have those varied results. But
last year, he was the #1 point earner in North America. And or not last, 2 years ago, actually. But let's just cut to a quick G2 listen in and hear about this mulligan and just get the game underway.
Good, right?
Yes, I would say that against Hagrid, both are good.
Yeah.
I mean, in this combination.
The problem is against, if it happens to be aggro druid, then they can have like a 1-drop with a primal fiend, then they just buff their 1-drop, kill our primal fiend, and then flame tongue is useless. But
no, then it's still a 1-1. You still have the 1-1.
Okay.
What about keeping Devolve?
Nah.
No, and Jade Lightning is also not that good, right?
Just mulligan these 2. I think it's a clear mulligan.
Okay. They kept 1 card. Jade Idol, okay, so it is Jade Druid.
Do you coin a primal fin here?
What are the options for those guys? Ref, basically, and that's about it.
Ref, Hero Power, Wild Growth.
I mean, when it comes to destroying the
What
Primal.
if we just squire? What if we just squire?
Doesn't like it's.
Why do you want to keep the coin?
Squire can be fine too. I'm not sure.
Coin
Like-
can be good later.
Squire, yeah, it's. You wanna have the Squire with Flame.
You get more value over time of the Primal Fin because you start basically with the Divine Shield. I mean, it's similar value, Argent and Primal Fin here.
Well, then it's Argent because that's what mana, right? Or
Mm-hmm. So
I
it might be
guess-
better.
I
Well,
guess
it's weaker. It's weaker against hero power.
Primal Fiend is probably better because we can just squire on 3.
Squire on 3.
Yeah, we can squire plus
Yeah.
something. On
Go for the
3.
Primal Fin. It's better, way better against hero power if they
Okay.
don't have it.
Yeah.
Here's a totem.
Cool.
No surprise here.
Alright, so I'm thinking we play that 2-mana card and we bump into the primal thing.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking too. Then we're gonna Blossom, then we're gonna Behemoth. It's green mana. Alright, that's the good part here.
Green mana, green men.
The real decision is, do we bump the totem over the 1/1, and I feel like it's right.
Yeah, we bump the totem, right? Like they're gonna probably
They're gonna make that trade for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes no sense for them to not make the trade. It's like spreading plague, etc. Swipe.
The great thing about these ramp curves is they have to start worrying about spreading plague so much faster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna.
I wouldn't flame tongue. Or if you flame tongue, do you trade a 1/3? It looks pretty bad.
I would
think
say
it's-
hero power and trade 1/1.
It's either hero power or it's Maelstrom.
Maelstrom can be so much better again when they use the second Jade and you have a spell power.
Maelstrom is good also with Evolve, so I would also hero power. We all agree on hero power?
Yeah, sure.
I would go
Should
for
we just
hero
rope
power.
it to confuse them a little bit?
No.
Nah,
You
go
don't
for
have
it.
to rope everything, man.
That's good.
All right, hear me out. This card's green. We can play it. Thoughts?
Yeah, it lets us play our other green card next turn into another green card, right?
Wow. Green mana, green men. Very happy about all of this.
Okay.
Got a smile on my face.
Yeah.
And if they play Spreading Plague, then you have double buff with Flame Tongue, so you will kill at least one.
I think you still go Squire. Like, they can also play Aya. They can also play Behemoth, right?
Where should we play the squire?
Can you set it that way that when we play double Flame Tongues next turn, you will have 2 kills on Spreading Plague?
You have to you have to play one Flame Totem now. It's too good.
You play Flame Tongue on the right side of the Murloc, and then Argent Squire on the right side of the Flame Totem.
Or on the turn.
And you still cannot attack both. No, it doesn't work.
No, the Flame Tome goes just in the middle. You trade it as a 3/1. Like, that's just the best.
And the square on the far right, agree?
Yeah. Not next to the Flame Totem.
Yeah, far right.
Just so.
Or the MC tech.
All right, so the board's developing. G2 Esports has a lot to worry about here. A little bit concerned about spreading plague, but decide that it's worth it to invest the extra minions just to make sure that the 2 Jade Behemoths and the Aya aren't a problem for them.
Mark my words, Firebat. Big green men are a problem. There's going to be a lot of big green men, and I think G2 is in a lot of trouble.
I could see it kind of going that way for sure, yeah. The 2 Behemoths in hand, they're going to be able to really ramp that Jade counter. And they have Ultimate Infestation to refill their hand, which is exactly what Jade Druid wants, and then find even more Jade cards to really make those big green men.
And Zlay's smiling a lot.
Oh, he's excited about big green
Now,
men.
Zlay always smiles a lot,
Sure.
but I agree. He's always excited about big green men.
If you've ever watched his stream, that is a definite theme. But so G2 Esports just saw a swipe being utilized, so that kind of gives some information that these cards are not Spreading Plague, because Spreading Plague could have been used there for a lot of value. So they have to kind of start pinpointing what are these cards, and what's my best way to play against them. And I think you're going to want to try and pressure.
Yeah.
So,
Well, some pressure facing down here, but we'll see how Love You Lots wants to tackle this and what they think of this spot.
What are you thinking?
Green men.
Green men, yeah. Like, we could nourish and set up our ultimate, but I'd rather have a bunch of green men.
I'd rather have green men.
So, how easily does the green men get killed? Let's see.
It's
They only
pretty
have
not
5
easily.
mana.
It's a little annoying.
Yeah, since they are at 5 mana. Okay, I'm convinced.
Green men.
Man.
Why is this card golden? This is disgusting me.
It's so that the green is a little more.
Flashy.
Yeah, like it's like foil.
Bling bling.
Do we ever devolve Maelstrom here, or is it not good? I don't think it's good.
Well, it's good tempo because next turn is Doppelgangster Evolve. And then the Doppelgangsters Evolve should carry us.
Yeah, but they still they can still we can still keep the devolve and use the Maelstrom.
3, 2, 3.
We have to trade all the minions and Maelstrom hero power.
Yeah. I think you want a Maelstrom, you're right.
So just
Yeah.
Maelstrom, not devolve.
Yeah, Maelstrom first, right? Which one's better?
Devolve is not even good on the 3-6.
Which
So
is
Maelstrom
better?
first.
Maelstrom first or second?
First.
That's actually a terrible minion.
Taunt Totem and then roll again. Do you want to taunt?
Yeah, I guess you want to taunt.
yeah. Good call.
Nice.
Full damage totem. They really
They
want.
felt like Thomas.
Oh,
Good job, bro.
Slay!
I'm gonna make a green man and kill his totem.
Slay,
What do you
you're
think,
so-
guys?
You're so good.
I've been practicing, you know? So,
This is what hours of Jade Druid does to a man.
It is an elephant foot.
Okay, it's a foot,
it's a foot.
not a hoof.
So now we have to learn why is
Alright,
that not
alright.
a hoof? Is hoof like
No. All right,
Because
let's
elephants are.
Cows have hooves, right?
So-
it's
so
like
let's-
a giant.
let's focus on the game real quick.
Why?
I don't. So second portal is out of their range, and Jade Lightning is sort of out because they didn't want that spell damage, right?
Yeah.
So like,
They had. Oh, okay.
so that's just like a small thing we can think about is that
I think it's more like that they really wanted to taunt this turn.
Yeah,
so-
yeah. I agree with that.
No,
I think
they
the
would have double portaled last turn, right? That was
Yeah.
quite a good double portal.
Yeah.
Their thing from below is cost 2 right now, so those are going to be coming in quick if they have them.
Oh,
Tempo?
thing?
Tempo? Oh. All right.
I mean, it's tempo.
Those are not amazing. What is this?
thing?
Oh, they played a lot more totems than we thought. Wait, did they just evolve into a totem that gave them the thing? I don't know.
I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah. I don't think that's.
No, it works like that, I
It
think.
works like that?
I think. I don't know.
That's.
They traded.
That was an interesting trade.
Okay, you drew Plague.
So
We can trade in
trade the
Plague,
Jade Golem, Plague, Hero Power, kill the Primal thing.
kill 2 things. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Trade the 4/4 plague, hero power the 5/1. Yeah, yeah.
So. Yeah, why did
We're
they
not gonna
trade?
nourish here. This is just right.
Yeah, obviously.
I just draw the best card every
It's
turn.
so good. It's unbelievable.
Actually disgusting.
I think so at least. I mean, we can think about it.
Man, we had a really bad Evolve.
Yeah, so many. Yeah, I guess maybe it's Aya here.
So you die over devolving.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
I
one,
think
the
so.
one, the 1/1 always goes in the 3/1, and I mean, there will still be a lot of 2/1s. Like, it's not easy for us to kill. It might even be more annoying.
I agree. I mean, let's play the way that they play Ultimate Infestation next turn, right? Does it change anything?
Nah.
Not really, right? We have to play Aya this turn to get the maximum board presence.
Yeah, you have to play Aya here, I think. There's no way you can get away with just that. Or, nah.
I mean, you
Bloodlust
trade
will
the
be
one.
lethal. If you
I think
devolve,
you
I
need
can
to go
trade more.
But you feel that devolves are giving good enough trades? I mean, devolve might be... Maybe you go devolve.
But it will have more attack.
Yeah, but at least trades. Okay. Oh, man.
Well, they might. They might.
So I'm thinking,
Well, we're not dead to it anyway, right?
yeah, I'm thinking we UI one of these.
Yeah, the
6
460
drops.
guy.
460 man, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we kill the
They'll
other
have.
man.
Yeah.
6 plus 12 is only 18. We're at 23.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think their card's lust anyway, but
I mean, it could be lust. They
yeah,
don't
it
wanna
could be. It
lust-
could be. It could be. But like, they didn't have a great reason to need to trade into that 3/2. I don't think. They're like starting to fight for board, which tells me their hand can't kill us very well, and they only have one card. So okay, it was better than Lepronome so far.
You like that too?
How?
It's
Hey.
pretty sweet.
What is the sound it makes, Slay?
I haven't. No.
I don't have sounds on. Are you kidding me?
Well, it's not gonna live, so we can't hear it again.
Yeah.
Okay. And go face with the 4-3.
I guess, right.
Why not hero power and bluff something that we have something at all?
Yeah, but what are we bluffing? It's nothing.
Don't think bluffing helps.
You just have to be now super fast and I guess get troll, get bloodlust.
It will be better if we roll Taunt Totem and then they can't attack into the Primal Fin at least. But that's 25% only.
Our girl's best friend.
I think we just play Golaka because it's a bigger body.
Can win the game.
Ooh, we can win the game. We can win the game. So I'm seeing trade into Aya and then Plague and then Swipe. That's my first reaction here. Right?
Pretty happy with that play.
That seems like we cannot lose.
Another play is Spellbreaker the Aya, swipe, and clear a lot, and
But the plague must.
The Plague is all.
yeah, I guess the plague
Even if he
doesn't
draws
get
the
better.
ball, he's not doing
Okay.
anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get the
Yeah,
Plague.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's GG.
Yeah.
It's GG. Trade into Aya, Plague. And then
We swipe the
three.
big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you want to give them a well played so they know it's GG?
They know to concede. So
they can
hold on.
figure it out.
Can we recap for the viewers that they banned Shaman and we banned Druid, and
Right.
this was game one.
Yeah. Interesting. They drew their important cards, right? They had two
Small-
Flame Tongues.
Small
They
sample
had
size.
Doppel Evolve as well.
Green men
Yeah.
look pretty good to me.
Yeah, with the
Green men
mana.
and Beetles. Beetles are good too. Okay, they might have Thrall here. That would kind of be their only way. No, that's not.
Not Firefly. That doesn't work.
No.
Okay.
All right, they're going on the board space out here. They want to not kill our minions so that we can't play
Right.
stuff.
Luckily, we have
Good.
we have some stuff.
Alright, so I want
I want a Malfurion probably.
I want to make a lot of trades.
Oh, we could try to nourish into Mark of the Lotus. We got two of those still.
Let's
could also-
try to not talk about our cards and not.
Yeah,
draw
I know.
Alright.
alliance.
I like
Okay,
Malphite.
yeah, I
We
actually-
lose value on Beetles, but
I like your ideas. I like
we
your
don't.
ideas.
We don't
Let's
give
Malfurion.
them. We don't give them the throw.
Malfurion.
I think Malfurion's going to attack the Primal Fin.
Yeah, and then we're
just
just gonna clear shit. And we want to
we want to clear the.
we want to leave up a
drop.
2/2 and leave one of our guys at lower than 2. That way we can always kill it off next turn.
Okay, but let's focus on what's important here. Poisonous or taunt? Going
Poisonous.
poisonous, yeah. That's
Yeah.
better.
You always take poisons. The better players always take poison, even if they're dead on board.
We
they
have
still
no
take poison.
fear. All right, so leave up the 2/2. Well, we should leave up a 2/2 for sure.
What do you want me to kill?
A 1/2 and a 1/1, I guess.
Killing that 2/2.
Okay, it doesn't matter because we have a.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay. The idea is so that we can kill off our guys better next turn.
Okay.
Sure. Can see what they have. But yeah.
Maybe we can double evolve next turn.
You want to play it?
Well, yeah, that's our best green man to play. So
Well, we could make a smaller man. We could just like Mire Keeper for a 3/3 here.
I want to close soon.
Yeah, I want to close soon. I don't
For
think.
reasons.
I don't think we want to draw either.
We don't want to draw cards. We just want to close.
Yeah.
So I want to hero power the O2 to put damage on my beetles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You damage the most damaged ones.
These guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill all of his men.
Kill everything, because Thrall is their only chance. And now we have 13 a turn, so we have 2 turns.
Sweet.
Alright.
Good job, Lane. Did the green men.
Ooh. That's a lot of banter.
Yeah, and a lot of green men. Turns out Jade Druid's still pretty good. You saw, or you heard Love You Lots talking a lot about the bans, kind of in a joking way, trying to say that maybe their ban is better than G2's ban.
Druid is very strong. I very much respect Druid. I don't like playing against Druid.
Yeah, it can be tough. Something that's also interesting to kind of talk about and note that Love You Lots was, speaking about amongst themselves. They were very interested in hiding something.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple times they mentioned don't draw cards. Multiple times Chalky brought up we don't want to show, and then just didn't finish the sentence. So there's something in there that I'm really curious about, and I hope we get to see in the next game.
I think Druid is one of the decks that you can tech the most in terms of potential open slots.
Sure.
Once you have the shell of about 26 to 27 cards,
Right.
those last 3 remaining ones, I think, are really what's up in the air.
You put in Spreading Plague, you then type in Jade and click every card. You then type in Mana and click every card.
Except for Innervate.
Except for Innervate, because it got nerfed. And then the rest you can play around with.
Which I still kind of like Innervate, honestly. I've played with it still.
It's not bad.
It's fine.
It's fine.
The big one to me is Ultimate Infestation into Innervate Jade Idol. But there you can see it. G2 made a lot of minions, but a lot of those minions are 0/2s. They don't work quite as well. But Jade Druid is just something else. If this deck gets rolling and it doesn't get stopped, it's ridiculous. But the thing about it is pressure is typically how you stop it. If I had to look back at that game and really think about one turn, I think it was when G2 chose to Totem on turn 2 rather than Flame Tongue Totem. I would like to see them play the game a little bit faster, accept the fact that Swipe is going to be strong against you almost any way you slice it, and just try to push the issue. I think that has probably been the #1 way that I lose when I'm playing Druid, is my opponent just simply pressures me as hard as they can.
Makes sense. A lot of the times, that also makes sense with kind of the way that the deck's mulligan. So, as Druid, you mulligan for mana ramp. If you're ramping your mana in the early games, you're vulnerable to early game pressure and your opponent playing aggressively. So the way that you mulligan as Druid is vulnerable to going all out as the Shaman, because oftentimes you're not going to keep Swipe off the mulligan. You're not going to keep Wrath off the mulligan. Some players do, but I think it's less likely than players having, Wild Growth, because that's something that you actively seek out, and Jade Blossom's something that you actively seek out. So they're more likely to have mana ramp than they are to have removal. So playing aggressively onto the board is better against what they look for off the mulligan.
Yeah, you will get punished, and a lot of times you'll find yourself in unrecoverable spots due to cards like Swipe or Spreading Plague. But if they don't have those, they're big payoffs.
Yeah, so it's an interesting spot to take a risk if they wanted, but G2, during their game, tried to play it really slow. They felt maybe Shaman is favored versus Jade Druid, which is a conception amongst some of the pro players. It kind of goes back and forth because the nerfs that happened, and Innervate is now, neutered a little bit. And yeah, it's coin now. It's not even Innervate. It's a different card. And now Spreading Plague costs a little bit more, and these are cards that were really good against Shaman. With those changes, some people are saying that Shaman beats Jade Druid. Well, it's not what happened here, but the way G2 played, it showed that they thought, this matchup's not that bad for me. We don't need to go all in on the board. We can kind of play slow.
And I don't disagree with that. They ran into problems every step of the way. And now as we roll into game number 2, it is Jade Druid once again for Love You Lots. Again, this is last hero standing, so the deck that wins stays on board. The deck that loses is out of contention. But taking on the Rogue of G2, I think this is also a slightly favorable matchup for the Rogue.
I think it is very slightly, yeah. It's not by any means a landslide matchup, and I honestly think Murloc Paladin would be a better choice against Jade Druid in most circumstances. But the reason why I believe G2 Esports is going for this Rogue instead of the Murloc Paladin is because they banned Shaman. They're trying to set up the Murloc Paladin to be able to sweep the remaining deck of Love You Lots because they've taken out the Nemesis deck of Murloc Paladin. So if they can just pick off as many decks as possible, they could potentially close the series with the Murloc Paladin. That's their sweeper deck for the end game.
It's a deep insight into the workings of Last Hero Standing. And Innervate is in the deck.
Interesting. Yeah, multiple coins. They're rich.
Prince Keliseth in the opener for G2.
It's not
and
a bad
despite
one.
the Prince Keliseth, they're looking at the Swashbuckler on turn 1 anyway.
It's not that bad.
It's damage.
It's damage.
I like damage.
So the reason why you kind of play Swashbuckler there is because they have the curve with the Tar Creeper. But let's see how Love You Lots is going to adjust to playing this unfavorable matchup.
Sure.
It's very soft read.
Ooh, that card's.
That's interesting.
Let's AFK.
Let's
turn
pass.
Let's AFK. Yeah, let's pass.
Yeah, passing sounds good to me.
Yeah, go Prince Shadow Step. Nice one, Lothar.
One time.
Yeah. Shadow Step, man.
Let's not lose this.
Brad, take a deep
Alright, so
That's
Alright.
nourish.
we can't play it this turn.
No. We can play it next turn.
Yeah, I'm thinking I want to hero power this 2-2 and pass. I'm thinking about how we win this game.
Yeah, I like that the best.
What about this Wrath?
Well, the Wrath we're playing next turn.
We're
We're going
playing
to go
next turn,
Coin,
we're
Bait,
gonna-
Nourish, and Wrath. They're
Wrath.
3/3.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yes, and then we're going to Plague.
Yeah.
All right. This sounds good.
Yeah.
That's a game plan.
Yep.
Now, if they top deck a juiced minion, we're
Got
in
it.
trouble.
Well, what do you want?
No, I
Well, I
don't.
want them to forget that there's a difference between right side of their hand and left.
Yes,
Play the non-juice.
Good, good. All right.
Okay.
Let's hero power the 2/2.
Okay.
We can always audible to swipe if that's ever good, but
Counter for that.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
mark
we have
of the
counter.
lowest is insane here.
Ooh,
Oh.
go for it. Destroy them.
Do you go Coldblood?
No,
Or do
we
you
Yeah, go Cold Blood. Huh?
Go Flame Elemental, it's 2-3 then.
Cold Blood is more damage, I think. Like, you should go for the more damage.
But they swipe the target with Cold Blood.
And isn't that fine? If they coin swipe?
I mean, they will coin
maybe it's-
swipe anyway.
You can go Flame Elemental, I can see.
Actually, Flame Elemental is fine, and you go Cold Blood next turn. Yeah, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay, I see it.
Oh my god.
I'm thinking we're. Oh. What? That's not fair. Okay,
Hey, we got one too. It's fair now.
Okay, so they have.
we can't do that on our
13.
Plague.
Yeah,
All
we
right, well,
can.
we need to Well, not next turn.
Okay, yeah, not next.
We need to nourish, and then we probably want to wrath something.
I think
But do we want
Wrath-
to wrath for 3 or 1?
I think we want to wrath the 2-3 because when they do the trades into the plague after,
Then we
it's
have to swipe. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to not take as much damage as we can. 'cause-
we can telegraph as much as possible. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that Lotus was better than the Keliseth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna oops the Innervate.
I don't think there's any reason to oops the Innervate. We nailed
Makes me happy.
it. We nailed it. So we're gonna wrap the
We're gonna
2/3
put one on the 2/3, intending to spreading plague into swipe.
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
We're taking some heat. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Draw first.
Yeah, it's Tar Creeper. Tar Creeper Coldblood.
This is 4 or 5.
You still go Tar Creeper, I think. Because then you can Plague Scientist the Tar Creeper.
But we need combo next turn. That means we need to draw something for 0-1-2.
So you want to go for the 4-5, let's see. And you can buff a 2/2.
We can go Cold Blood first and then play.
No. You never go Cold Blood.
No, you never go for Cold Blood first. Because then you only have 4 attack.
But we gain poison on other minion.
Yeah, but it's free. Like it's better to poison into something.
Then in this case, I would rather play the Dark Reaper.
I think Dark Reaper is okay.
Dark Reaper and Cold Blood and what?
2/2.
2/2. I will do the elemental.
The flame
because
elemental.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do it and go full face.
For us, though.
We're gonna want to gain, I'm thinking 30 this turn.
Yeah.
30 sound like a good amount?
30's a really good amount.
Yep, we're gonna do that.
Let's gain 30. Let's gain 30 and not die to SI.
Well, it would need a thing.
Yeah, I know.
Thing.
I understand the logistics of the SI7 agent kill.
I'm feeling good. We're at 32, right?
Feeling good! Monkus!
More than we started at.
Monkus! Help!
Dagger goes somewhere. 6/2. Yeah, just make these trades. But then you always play the score.
And I think I stop trading here in this situation.
Choose soon.
Do you play Squire here or the Yeti? Do we play Yeti?
I think you need to keep Squire for comboing with Vileman Slayers.
You can keep the. You can play the Scientist here, sure.
Yeah, it's a 4/5.
Nice.
Alright, so I'm thinking.
Well, we don't need the
Swipe,
hero power now.
Lotus, and Wild Growth.
Well,
7.
Yeah. So we're growthing over hero power. We're
I'm gonna
definitely
start with the swipe and then see what it looks like.
we're gonna swipe the 4/4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're gonna.
And it's dead.
We're gonna Lotus.
So we know their card in hand costs more than 2, or were they board capped?
Not necessarily.
They were
It
board
could-
they were board capped. They were board capped.
Yeah, and it could still cost 3 to combo an SI. They just wanted to get the 4/5.
Well, they could have comboed the Plague Scientists, which would have been good for them, but yeah.
We're actually gonna win this game.
So we're gonna Lotus.
Yeah.
Wild Growth and kill.
Are we gonna trade?
Why? What does
Yeah,
Wild Growth do?
Do we need to trade and do we need a growth, right?
I don't think we need to growth. We have,
mana, so we
well,
can.
hold on. Slay, we're thinking about
not dying. to
SI. Yeah, because we can beat SI, right?
Yeah, we can definitely beat SI.
Do you want to make these attacks? Kill 2 guys.
We can. I think we can.
Yeah.
And then hero power and hit face.
I'm upset that I don't have more mana.
Maybe we shouldn't have hit the guys. We have a lot of guys still, but like if they.
I like him having less guys. Like maybe we can kill all
Him
his
having
guys
less
so
guys
they
is
can't bomb
good.
there.
Yeah.
The light
I
protects.
feel that.
That's gonna be tough to stop.
Squire.
Yeah, we played around Vile Spine by killing stuff. That was a really good turn for them. Oh my god.
That was very good.
That was
Vile
really.
Spine.
That was a little too good, guys.
All right, Malfurion. One Malfurion, please.
So swipe.
We are dead.
Is there anything we got here? It'd be nourish. Because swipe is not keeping us alive, correct?
Correct.
Correct. So we can.
Nourish doesn't give us anything, so we can concede.
Yeah.
This is one of those spot the lethal puzzles, and I see it.
Alright, so, Plague Scientist, Argent Square.
Yeah.
What's the Squire tell us?
Well, the teams are very talkative, and that's why we've been sticking with them for so long. But G2 and the power of that opening, that Swashbuckler provided Mark of Lotus, and that one hit the mark.
That's a pretty good card to get off that Swashbuckler. I loved watching Team LUL's reaction to that. Zalay almost fell over laughing so hard at that Mark of the Lotus. But I just want to mention that it was really well played by Lothar there. He kind of went against Tice and RDU multiple times during that game when we were listening in. And that's pretty tough to do when you got two of your teammates saying you to do one thing and you're like, I disagree, I'm going to go my own way, and overturn them, and hey, it worked out for him.
Well, Lothar had a great communication amongst the team so far.
Yeah.
You know, being the manager of G2 Esports, that's a big point for him, is he needs to be able to communicate very thoroughly. And I think that him having that role for so long has just helped him clarify his thoughts over and over again. And I think even to some degree for himself, it's offered a lot of improvement. I know that when I started actively talking a lot more about my plays out loud, that I noticed that I was seeing things that I just wasn't seeing before.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with his performance thus far in the series.
So Druid only picks up 1 win. Keleseth Rogue ends up getting the big payoff with the early Shadow Step. You saw a night and day difference from the match that G2 just played where Misfits played, where they had a very slow opening hand that was just stacked with all of their endgame. Rogue does still have a degree of feast or famine strategy. It's the nature of almost any combo-based strategy. Keleseth, of course, is a big point for it, but remember, Misfits had Keleseth in that game too. The draw just didn't pan out.
Right, and they had the early game that was able to work with it, and they kept drawing minions. They didn't draw a bunch of Cold Bloods and not be able to capitalize on the Keleseth buff. But even then, Jade Druid is such a powerful deck that the Jade Druid almost came back and won that.
Yeah.
It was really impressive to watch Team LUL formulate that game plan after the Keleseth happened. We were listening to them, and we saw Keleseth come down, got Shadow Step, they saw it come down again, and immediately they're like, all right, how do we win this game? We have to hero power this 2-2, and then 4 turns down the line, we're going to be able to innervate, coin, Mark of the Lotus, and not Mark of the Lotus, Spreading Plague, and we're going to be able to capitalize on the fact that we did that hero power there. It was just really cool to watch all those moving parts to set up for how they come back from such a devastatingly bad position.
Yeah, the 3 of those players have for a long time been some of the best planners that I've seen in Hearthstone. I've sat with each of these guys individually and worked through combat scenarios, and they really see every single difference that one single attack can make. It reminds me a lot about early Strife Crow, when the first time I saw Strife Crow just as a druid, he just hero powered a Sylvanas to a 5/4, and I was like, what on earth is he doing? And then he drew Swipe, and I was like, he was actually planning. He's like, if I draw Swipe here, I'm going to want to have face tanked this Sylvanas. What does this 5 damage really do? And he won the game because of it. And since then, I've been seeing players really try to work on and refine that particular aspect of their game, just simply planning out the future stages and what they look like.
For sure. And as much hate as Spreading Plague gets, being kind of like some people say it's a broken card or what have you, that's a card that requires a lot of planning. That's a card that definitely, in the hands of a mediocre player, is okay. In the hands of like a skilled team of players, they can really set it up and almost win from what seems to be impossible positions.
That's right. That's the nature of just a strong card. It's going to be good a lot of times when you play it. But the World's Elite will maximize that card's potential and really turn around scenarios that otherwise are unrecoverable.
And now going into the next match here, the Rogue is a fairly standard deck. If you're not banning the Rogue, it's what we call like a tier 1 deck. So it's a deck that pretty much everyone's going to play. About 25 of the cards are cards that you know exactly what they are, and it's going to be very strong. So that means you're going to have a counter for it.
What's that Rogue deck vulnerable to? Like in your experience, what is it really suffered against the most?
It depends a little bit on how they tech it. If they tech it towards to be better against the control, which seems to be more the standard.
Plague Scientist, as we saw.
We saw the Plague Scientist. We saw the Dragon in there, the Scale Bane. So these are cards that perform better against control, and then that can cause you to struggle a little bit against aggro. You usually take out Galaka Crawlers and stuff of that nature because you have to play Prince. So you can find yourselves running into trouble against Pirate Warrior or some of the more aggressive types.
Now, mind you, last week, LUL did play Pirate Warrior, and they almost turned it back around, but weren't able to close the game versus a Warlock. I'm curious if that's on deck for them again in this series.
Right, and last week they played the Prince Keleseth Pirate Warrior, which was, gaining popularity then, and is more board control focused, which would perform better against Rogue, but way worse against Warlock, because Warlock can deal with wide boards, they just can't deal with the burn damage. So losing Heroic Strike against some of the slower decks where Pirate Warrior is typically really good is kind of expensive.
That's right. They picked up both their wins against aggressive matchups, able to utilize N'Zoth's first mate with Bloodsail Cultist and really make some headway on board. And here we get a look at Love You Lot's win rates. We just saw G2's, of course, and that white mark there, that is the Trinity Series average. How many wins per game is a certain class accounting for? Priest has been very low because it's just often been banned. I actually think Priest has only gotten through in one series thus far.
Okay. And it was obviously heavily targeted if it's let through because it's believed to be the most powerful deck in the game.
Yeah, oh my goodness, G2's hand.
Wow. And the Warlock pick makes a lot of sense. And the reason why the Warlock pick makes a lot of sense is because there is one deck eliminated from G2 Esports arsenal right now, and that is the Shaman. And with no Shaman available, what does your Warlock really counter?
Paladin.
I guess kind of Paladin, but board control Paladin with all of the buffs and the bone mares and just sticky minions can be difficult for Warlock to overthrow.
Yeah, it is a strong matchup for Warlock still, but last week also taking into account Lovey Lots, they played a controlling mage. And despite the fact their opponents got an insane opening draw, they still almost won. They were down like 7 on turn 3 or 4, and they still almost brought the game back. I think if it wasn't for Gentle Megasaur, they would have actually won the game. So they could have another pocket pick specifically meant to tackle a matchup like that as well.
Sure, that would work out very well for him because it seems G2 is trying to set up Paladin to do work. Yeah, there's some tech here in the Warlock.
I have never seen that in Warlock before.
Yeah, interesting. Some extra taunts in the Warlock. 2-layer taunts are really good against Bittertide Hydra, but let's check out G2 and see what their game plan is for this matchup.
Yes.
You do it everything next turn.
But nah.
No, it's fine, it's fine. So you pass now. Next turn you go kill SF Next turn you go kill SF Shadow Step, and then you go kill SF Shadow Step again, replay again. So coin swash. Yeah, just do it. Just pass.
My God, it's ridiculous.
Like, oh God.
What?
Okay, even Golaka doesn't win them the game.
No way, yeah. It's like you cannot go like on Edwin.
All right, we can get something for 0 mana from Splash Bulgar? I don't think so.
We can draw Backstab to make it even bigger. Okay, kill SF Shadow Step.
Yeah, kill us a Shadow Step, and then just pass. And now like.
Oh, I love Hearthstone sometimes. A lot of times.
Alright, so we have SI7.
Well, I'm thinking, yeah, either SI7 or Pirate plus Plague Scientist, but they don't need the 0 for that, so yeah, SI7.
SI7.
So we're just going to play our 3 and go face.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a curve 3, 4, 5. Makes sense.
Oh man. You can even.
No, so you go kill SF, Shadow Step the kill SF.
I played again. Oh my God.
We play it again.
They had another. Yeah, so now everything's +3/+3.
Yep. So this is like
4/4. 4/4.
Alright.
Dark Reaper, right?
Yes, and then we trade, and then coin Edwin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decent.
Yeah, average turn.
It's a big guy.
it's only a 14/14.
That number is
Spellbreaker.
large.
That's not a spellbreaker.
Alright, so can we defile and kill this 14/14?
No. I thought about it a little bit. The answer is no.
We put 5 on it, which is approximately 0.
Yeah, we're gonna have to siphon it. So the whole game plan from here is to chain gang.
Which is the argument
File. We would chain gang and trade in, or we can take 14 and chain gang next turn because it's more likely to soak.
Is it like? Okay, I see what you mean. So you want to coil?
So we'd probably coil, and then like if we draw a taunt, we play a taunt, and if not, I guess we defile because we need to clear out going into chain gang.
Okay.
So yeah, coil, I guess.
All right.
Sure.
We hit another coil. I'm gonna do that.
Now we don't have to defile, yeah.
Yeah. Coil and then tap.
Yeah, we need to tap. Okay.
The first card.
Doomsayer, Voidwalker. Can be a lot, man. Oh man.
Do you just go deck and SI? Wait.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
The deckhand is 3 damage to the face. If we go daggers, that's 4 damage.
But the SI is a 6/6.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck. Never mind.
Like,
never mind.
do you know what? You have done blow through. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, I would go deck and aside.
Yeah. It's just the stats, man. Like, it just
It
wins.
beats stuns and stuff, and I don't think it loses to anything. They don't even have the turn to Siphon Soul. I don't know if anything saves them there.
Spelled.
Yeah. We can get. There's no 0 mana taunts. Yeah. There's nothing here, right?
Nope.
There's nothing. Dirty Rat still dies even if they have nothing in hand.
Good game.
All right.
And that there, Firebat, and ladies and gentlemen, is what we call the nuts.
Yeah, that is a pretty good hand from G2.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
That is the best hand they could have possibly drawn.
Yeah. That is why Rogue's kind of a tier 1 deck and is very strong in this format and has been warranting a lot of bans today and in the previous week, just because it's a strong deck on its own, and then you can introduce the Prince Kaliseth and the Shadow Steps in it, so that when you come up against a bad matchup like this Warlock that seemed pretty teched for aggro, you can get your Prince Kaliseth and you can just kind of high roll a bad matchup occasionally, and it doesn't compromise your already consistent matchups. That's the important part and what makes the deck good.
Yeah. I want to point out that Lothar forgot that SI was a 6/6. And that is why they changed Fiery War Axe's mana cost. It's because even when you're using your own cards on a professional team, sometimes that power toughness is hidden and you just forget. You're so used to SI7 agent just being a 3/3.
Right. Yeah, it keeps the game.
That's what happened to me the first time I played Prince Kaliseth. I kept playing minions from left side and going, what am I doing?
I've
I'm
seen
just
people
dumb.
do that, yeah.
I just stopped playing the card because I just forget a lot. I really do. It's like, after you've played thousands of games, just go through that automatic mechanism.
Well, what's interesting about that, you said you stopped playing the card at some point. That's been a trend that's been happening. A lot of players have been experimenting with playing Eviscerates instead of Prince Kaliseth and the Shadow Step to try and improve the consistency against some of the aggressive matchups. The problem with doing that is you remove your percent chance to do what Team G2 just did.
Yes.
So you increase your consistency overall, but you lower your ability to win against the counter queue. So that's what's interesting about the format, is you have to balance how much is it worth to be consistent in the match I'm targeting versus how much is it worth to have a chance to beat the counter queue.
Yeah, and let me tell you what, if you watch a lot of Hearthstone, you have not seen that happen probably. They used almost every point of mana. They used every single card. I mean, that draw may never happen again in competitive Hearthstone, like in an actual broadcast tournament. That may literally never happen again.
Yeah, it was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. You're kind of blessed there to get to see that amount of absurdity.
And honestly, it's something that I do like to see. I do like absurdly powerful things, which is why I love Ultimate Infestation.
But that was not as fun.
Speak for yourself. I like drawing cards.
I like a 14/14 on turn 3 is cool.
And kill their board and get another 4/4 to go with
Ultimate Infestation, though, you just draw a bunch of cards and then you slowly die from their advantage.
Gosh.
It's not as instant and flashy.
Stop talking this way to me. I can't handle it.
Dude, what I miss, one mana Rockbiter weapons. Those were some flashy lethals.
There's the man, Lothar, who drew an incredible opening hand in Game 2. Honestly, if they hadn't drawn the SI7 agent in the South Sea deckhand, there was some recovery potential there for...
They needed to draw any minion.
That costs less than 5. Which is, that's a lot of the deck. There's no doubt about it.
Almost every card.
But, another backstab. Say they have Coin or Cold Blood in there. We saw Cold Blood in there. Say they have Coin like Misfits mentioned in their matchup. I don't know. It's another Edwin, though.
And now we see the Mage coming out to try and counter the Rogue from Love You Lots. This means they're slowly losing potential answers to Murloc Paladin. The Shaman's been banned. The Warlock is gone. Now, there's not too many controlling archetypes left. This Mage, if this goes down, then the setup of the ban at the very beginning of the game from G2 Esports may just pay off and Murloc Paladin will have sweep potential.
Indeed. Do you want to know that Edwin's not quite as powerful when you're going first?
It's still pretty good.
Still pretty good, but it's also against a class that maybe you anticipate not playing minions that early. The backstab may not stick around in this hand if they scouted out Love You Lots last week, where last week they played a controlling mage deck. There's not a lot of stuff to backstab in that.
And it seems to be some sort of controlling mage as well, with the Tar Creepers and their added defense against aggressive decks.
Yep, and they ship back the Edwin Van Cleef, the backstab, and the Shadow Step. I like it personally.
Yeah. just not even going to try and make that happen.
Kalisaf.
And they get rewarded for it. It looks like G2 Esports realizes, hey, it's a control matchup. They're playing a deck that's kind of designed to beat up on Rogue. How do we win when we're unfavored? Well, we put Prince Kaliseth in our deck for a reason. Let's full mulligan for it and, you know, do our unfavored game plan, you know?
And G2, I'm sorry, Lovey Lots continues to put Tar Creeper in a lot of decks.
Yeah, I agree with it a lot. I've played somewhere a little over 200 best of fives pre the change with like Innervate change and War Leader change, so a little outdated stats, but all of my lineups that had two Tar Creepers in every deck performed exceptionally well. I think it is one of the strongest cards in the current metagame, and you see it on both sides of the field.
Well, let's listen to Lovey Lots. They have a turn 2 Doomsayer. Is it coming down?
Pretty good to me.
Yeah. Stopping their 3 is pretty good, I think. We have a Tar Creeper next turn. It slows them down, and we just want to slow them down until we can.
They could have, they could have Backstab, Captain, but we can't really play around that. They could draw Shadow Step. I don't really care. I'm not going to Frostbolt this.
Doomsayer just gets worse later. It's like...
Yeah, we just do it.
This is the time for Doomsayer.
No.
No! I mean, we can
You can still kill it.
we go for deck.
You'd go for patches. You'd go for patches and dagger.
Because of no 1 HP minion then, or?
Yeah, because of no 1 HP minion, then you can go Tar
But
Keeper
it's
deck the
free
next
mana.
turn.
If they ping, when they will not Arcane Intellect.
It doesn't matter, like you don't want to give them the option. Like if you go patches over deck and you don't give them the option.
Okay.
Backstep first, yeah. And dagger. It's quite
we have a decent hand still though. Like this plays turn 4, turn 5 pretty decent. This hand.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's nothing that we could have done about it.
Yeah.
So... Can't really tell anything from last turn. Because that was their only way to clear. They spent all the mana. Yep. Okay.
That's good.
Oh, that's great. On the deck.
Play it on deckhand, yeah, play it on deckhand.
Yeah. Sick.
Okay.
Nova.
So the upsides of Glyph are Flame Strike, Meteor.
I think
Blizzard.
we probably are going to need to be glyphing here.
Yeah.
Fireballing is not very appealing.
Yep.
Flame Geyser is not that bad.
Yeah, Flame Geyser.
Well, the portal is pretty good too. Like we can Frostbolt at 2/2 this turn and portal at 3/4 next turn.
Most of the time, the portal or minion gets removed before.
Well, we got Fireball.
Yeah.
The only upside is the 5-drop basically, but we have to leave up an extra 2/2 that way.
Yeah.
But we get a portal instead of Flame Geyser.
Well, I mean, it's a.
I'd say
I'm fine with Flame Geyser. We have AIs in hand. That's a reason to pick a cheap card, right?
Right. So we're gonna go Flame Geyser, and are we Frostbolting a 2/2 or the 3/4?
I like the 3/4.
Okay.
Valspine is great for Doomsayer. So yeah, it's Cobalt and attack. Do we attack with the dagger? That's the thing we need to think about.
We
could.
Why? Because
next time if we go Tar Creeper, we might we will never need a dagger to kill a minion, right? It's very unlikely.
Only for babbling books. If
No, but they don't play that. They don't play that.
They have the Flame Gazer elemental that they can play next turn.
Yeah,
that
but
doesn't change anything because it's 2 HP.
You might just do
we
it.
can attack.
That might just matter the 1 damage.
Yeah, just push maximum damage.
A timely Plague Scientist, that tech choice that they made into this matchup could potentially make a world of difference. This game so much different if that Doomsayer goes off.
Right. Plague Scientist has just been a really powerful card for them amongst all of their rogue games.
Now, the board, though, does get quite dismantled here.
They're going to need something big here. They're running out of gas. They have a lot of defensive cards in here. There's some gas.
That is some gas.
Yeah, even still, though, it's... Vile Spine Slayer is not particularly strong at killing your opponent. It's better at getting tempo swings when your opponent tries to develop minions. This mage deck does not try and develop very many minions, if any at all.
Well, things are going to start getting a little bit tricky here for Love You Lots. They do need to find some more removal. They're thinking that Doomsayer is probably a pretty good draw at this point, given the Frost Nova in hand, but that Vile Spine, anytime G2 draws a card that basically is not a top-end card, it's going to be impactful.
Now they have the choice of whether they want to develop the Secret to try and slow down some of the damage, invest in more card draw to find more options for the next turn, or maybe even preemptively Frost Nova to deny Bone Mare damage, because that Vile Spine Slayer has been sitting in the hand for many turns. They could read it as potentially a Bone Mare.
Could also be Shadow Step, could also be Cold Blood.
Right. But
I think that's the problem with trying to pick a hand range here, is that a lot of cards that are going to sit in hand are pretty dead right now.
Yeah.
Might have wasted Frost Nova.
And you can definitely get more value out of it later on. So I agree with their play. But let's listen into G2 and see what kind of game plan they're formulating to close this one.
I think you also attack again with a weapon to maximize damage.
Yeah, we do. 100%.
Yeah, we can even have lethal next turn.
I mean,
now if we draw Shadow Step, it's oh no, it's one off because we don't have mana to redagger. But it's
we will get there then. I mean, that Volcanic Potion was also kind of meh.
Yeah.
A card they had on 5 and a card they just drew. And Bone Mare was the best play on that turn by far. No thinking required.
But you don't hit with the dagger if you have Bone Mare.
Oh, okay, right. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Barrier Fireball just seems fine.
Yep.
And then next turn we're going to freeze the board.
And Doomsayer with it.
Well, if we draw it, yeah, that'd be wonderful. Love the optimism.
We should. That creates 4 minions. Doesn't matter.
I mean, you can just Leroy Shadow Step Dagger, right? And then it's... Oh, no.
No, because we need to pop them. So we go for Leroy.
So the thing is, like, if it's barrier or if it's a block, but if you test with the Dark Reaper, then you cannot pop them at 1. To pop them at 1, you have to go Leroy Shadow Step.
Yeah, you can just Leroy first, yeah. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, just Leroy first.
Wait.
Yeah, just Leroy first. And if it's barrier, then you probably just Shadow Step the Leroy and dagger one of the guys. Yeah, I think that's the play.
Yeah, it's barrier. So wait, what do we do in this case?
Shadow Step Leroy, and I think you dagger the 1/1, but maybe you dagger even face.
Remember now it will be 6/2.
Dagger the 1/1 because of the Firelands.
Okay.
All right. I mean, we basically always keep the combo then for Valspan Slayer for next turn, so that's important.
Yeah, but also just the 6 damage that you get back in the hand, like you just want.
Yeah, now we dodge Firelands is really good.
I honestly think glyphing is good, yeah.
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 Potion of Polyvade.
Frozen Clone. We take Breath of Syndragos, I think, and we try and draw a secret. We could fake with the secret, but they're still going to go for a kill if they have it every time. So we take Breath and draw for a secret, correct?
Okay.
We didn't get a secret.
So we should
Nova
and save the breath. Yeah.
Yeah.
We trade our 1/1, right?
Why?
Because gives them like a dagger target.
Do we care if they dagger our 1/1?
I guess we
I like having the 1/1.
Okay.
Yeah, gives us flexibility. They can screw up.
Yeah.
We're hoping it's a Vile Spine on the left.
Right. I mean, it's not like it...
Out of Squire.
The question is if you also Leroy.
I don't like it because we have a way to go through the taunt. Do they play?
For example, against Jaina, it's better to like Leroy.
So many options.
How is it against Alex? Yeah, that are the expensive ones.
Alex puts him back at 15. We have 6, 11, 12, and we cannot deal the 3 damage left.
It's just that we don't give ourselves the coblets out, right? That's the biggest.
Actually, we beat Jaina with Leroy if we play Squire.
So many.
And it's never Squire fast spin here, like that's.
No, you don't Vile Spine. You don't Vile Spine.
No. You have to keep that 100%.
It's Squire Leroy or it's Squire. And do we kill the 1-1 or do we go face?
All right, fast decision. Do we go Leroy or not, Radu?
I'm not sure.
We play Squire for sure.
Yeah, go Squire. Just go for Leroy.
Fuck, it's not enough time, man.
Okay.
It's really
fine.
not enough time.
Okay,
It's fine.
okay.
Like coblets are always out now. If they blizzard, it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. It's super close. Like I'm afraid of Blizzard if I go Leroy.
Like let's take our time to think here. I think I know our play. We're gonna freeze and barrier every time. We're gonna. We could not freeze. We could not freeze.
We could poly, right? We could poly barrier.
What to
Hang.
do?
Right.
What to do?
We could. Yeah. Do we want a breath or do we want to save that for our Alex turn? Because that's an extra. It prevents bone marrow off the top, which is nice.
I want a poly barrier ping the 1/1.
Okay, we can save.
We're just thinking about breathing instead, or not instead, but alongside.
Right, and I think saving it makes sense. It's really good with that, Alex.
It's really good. We're not at risk. They would have to rip bone marrow number 2 to 6 us for us to be unhappy.
Yeah. I guess it could be backstab, but I'm pretty sure it's like Vile Spine.
Well, it could be either, right? They've had nothing to backstab.
Well, there's 2 Vile Spines and 1 backstab left.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm gonna play around Vile Spine when we can, but I'm just trying to think of all the things it can be.
All right, so they're grabbing the Leroy.
They just drew bursts.
Yeah.
They
might
might.
think they're popping us.
It could be SI.
And
Yeah,
then they're
exactly.
like, Lothar, no, check with the Argent Squire first.
Yeah.
And now they're like, see, it was barrier. And he's like, oh, okay.
To get 2 extra damage, like you have to go Leroy now.
Yeah, you go Leroy. Leroy hits face.
SI hits face too, right?
I don't
This
know.
kills the 1/1.
Yeah.
And I think Agent kills the 1/1 as well.
I think Agent kills the 1-1 too, yeah.
Okay.
Ping the shield.
Ping the shield, Blizzard, play a Flame Alley because there's no reason not to.
We can play that.
We can play that
Bigger.
instead. That has utility
We
later.
have
if we
2
draw
blocks and 2
C3.
Arcanologists in our deck.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna Blizzard.
Are we gonna breath
Well,
the 4-2?
Why? We could do it.
No,
because
we
we
can-
might miss.
We can do it later. I think we do play the 2-3 though, because it does threaten on board, right? As opposed to the 1-2. Well, the 1-2 turns with ping, but
I'm thinking about the breath because he could draw a minion and Alex doesn't necessarily hit.
what?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna have a 4-2 and that's it, and we're gonna put down a 2-3 to challenge it, right?
Okay. Yeah. If we're putting the 2-3,
Valley.
yeah. If we're putting the 2-3, then
That saving
Yeah.
breath makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
We probably have to play one or the other.
Yeah. We
We're gonna
challenge
play
it.
the
Next turn, we might Alex. We'll see. We really need to get to Jaina, right?
one Bana, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Vile Spine to kill the minion then.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think we do
of
it.
course.
I think we do it.
And the
The only
4-2
bad
in the
thing
middle.
what can happen is a flame strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just playing the Agent is too weak.
And it doesn't kill the 2-3, like it just trades.
Yeah, we
and the
play.
and the 4-2 just in the middle then. Yeah.
This guy's toast.
4-2 in the middle, yeah. And attacking with dagger. Huh. The twice barriers were annoying, man.
Do they still have this? They still have the 1-2 elemental in hand. Right?
They have the 1-2 elemental, yeah.
And that's so.
We can take a turn now.
What if we like Breath and Alex ourselves?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, there's that, or there's Nova, Tar Creeper, Flame LE ping, and set up for that Alex turn.
I like getting the 8/8 down better and then Noving later.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So we Breath first.
There's no punish to the 8/8 right now.
Yeah.
They could draw Shadow Step. That'd be their best draw. But...
Alex.
Okay.
I bring life.
So you got slightly punished for not breathing last turn, but...
Not a big punish. I mean, we'll probably pick up an AoE.
Yeah,
I guess we couldn't. There's a world where we don't, but...
I think it's a pretty big punish. This didn't work out.
Well, yeah, but we weren't... I don't know.
We have to trade with the 4/4. That makes no sense.
you never do that. You never do that. You never do that.
So let's calculate. So they kill the 4-2, they kill the 4-4, then we have 7-8 if we push 8 now. Yeah, just do is little next turn if they don't have anything extra. We could have killed the Alex, but then we lose to Jay.
No, never, man. How do we ever win if that's...
Yeah.
Frost. Oh, okay.
I have other ideas now.
That's good. I'm not gonna kill them.
Let's not Jaina this turn, because we can...
No, of course not.
Yeah,
we're gonna Nova Target. The target will heal us post Jaina. So
Yeah,
we're
so
just
Tar Creeper...
We're gonna clear stuff. We're gonna clear the Vile Spine.
Yeah. Clear the Vile Spine, ping the 4-2, trade in.
Yep.
Yeah.
We don't need to trade in. The Flame Ellie will heal us, but we don't need the Flame Ellie healing, correct?
Prevents a Shadow Step or something.
Well, he can Shadow Step out that
just
one.
for heals.
Yeah.
All right, we can think about this a bit more since we have time if
I
we
agree.
want the 1-2 heal. What punishes us? Shadow Step? Not really.
Shadow Step's not a good draw for them.
No.
Bone Mare would be, but then we get to trade in with our Alex first. They would never bone.
So
Why do we need to heal for one?
We don't need to heal for one. That's very true. We don't need
What's the punish, though? We push one and heal one. What's the punish?
There's really not. I think we trade. Trade. Let's just...
I'm fine with being a safe gamer.
There's not a punish, but it's okay. Like, we're gonna be alright.
Got it. So what do they do?
They attack with the 1/5 to the face because why would you trade into 3/3? That makes no sense. 8/4 trades with Edwin. And,
Very likely. The card in
that's about
hand.
it. The card
in their hand. They just drew it recently.
It's random. We can have no assumption what it is.
We just have to hope he's not Jaina.
Yeah, we pass, right? Yeah. You don't attack.
Oh, maybe we do attack?
Nah, the 1/5 always goes face, then you backstep that. I think you just pass.
I would also say we pass. Yeah.
So I'm thinking...
I want to value trade.
I want to value trade the...
What if we take 8 damage here? Is that... No, that's probably stupid, huh?
What do you mean?
To the face?
Yeah.
I want to value trade the Alex.
Oh, no, we're gonna value trade, I think.
Yeah.
So this always hits face for 1. We're gonna VT the 3/3. We can actually... We can't die.
What happens if we go face with Alex?
3, 6, 10, 11.
We go face
They'd be
with
one
Alex.
off.
They can Bone Mare the Van Cleef and then trade the...
We're gonna VT because
Yeah,
this sets us
it's
up for
better.
all the pings in the world next turn. Like they can't avoid it. Our Alex can get pinged. Their 4/4 can get pinged. Like our Tar Creeper can get pinged.
Backstab.
There is no other option, so...
Yeah, just trade. Face tank the Alex.
Do I play it? Yeah, I have to play it.
Yeah, you have to play it.
Yeah. It's actually... That's decent, so...
Yeah, it doesn't die to anything.
Yeah, it's...
4-6.
Yeah, what I'm talking about, yeah, 4/6.
It's good.
Gadget Dana.
An incredible discovery.
Ping that and
We should just kill it to prevent Bone Mare.
But we set up a ping if we Medivh's Valet face, or we could hold the Medivh's Valet.
Well, we're not facing. Like,
Well, Bone Mare, right? They can still.
Yeah, we beat Bone Mare easily.
I like valeting this. We have a lot of
Yeah, I
pressure.
mean, we're gonna beat anything. So.
I think Bone Mare's like the scariest thing. I think Muzzy Terrain.
We're gonna beat any card here. Like, they need to.
Don't
they
say
need
that.
To, they
Don't
need to
let them
swash.
draw the swash. No.
They need to swash. They need to swash. Yeah. Like, swash is the scariest card by far. Into like their own Jaina or something. And that's pretty good.
Ah, Hearthstone.
Chalky, why? Did you say?
What do you mean?
Why did you say the things you did?
Let's see here.
I want to attack face, ping face is my first instinct.
Okay, so how about
I'm thinking
that?
That gives them shadow.
We're frostbolting
We
the
frostbolt
2/2.
the 2/2, yeah.
Okay.
What about pinging our water ellie
Our guy.
to heal it up next turn? What do we get punished by?
We just miss a damage if they kill it with South Sea Deckhand or something. Heals up our guy.
But then we have
We
the
miss-
upside of getting a 3/6.
We miss 2 damage.
I must decide.
So if we go face with 6 pings, they go to 9, 12, 2, 10. Another 3. I think you're right.
Wow, that is a great spot from Love You Lots to Frostbolt that 2/2 because they're running out of actual stuff to do.
Yeah, they really set up the way to create more water elementals.
Wow,
I really
brilliant
like
play
that.
here on the ping too.
Yeah, to be able to set up the generation of additional water elementals. They're in kind of a weird spot. If they lose their final water elemental, the remaining cards in their deck are Arcanologist, Doomsayer, Ice Block, Blizzard, Flamestrike, Polymorph. But the weird part about this matchup and the weird part about the game is there's 11 cards remaining for G2 Esports and 5 cards remaining for Love You Lots. So if G2 can ever get a full board clear, they will no longer have to play minions to end this game. So they just need to clear the entire board once, and that Flamestrike was almost enough to be able to do it, and then they can just pass for the rest of the game, and Love You Lots will die in fatigue, unable to create additional water elementals.
Right, and that's why they've played it in this strange fashion towards the end here. There's a lot going on where the board is concerned, but Love You Lots seems to be very much on top of every little thing.
Yeah, being able to make sure they can continue generating water elementals is super important.
Let's go back to G2. This game's pulling down to the wire here.
Between to our guy.
They're gonna trade in our guy, yeah.
Right.
But then
But-
force them to do that.
Yeah, force them to do that. It's fine, because we're gonna have a big captain, and the captain beats the next elemental. But then they can also ping the captain. But it's fine. Just trade.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets frozen for 110.
Yeah, but they will ping it. Likely.
They'll ping it.
And then they get a new water alley. And now just the captain gets big. It's pretty decent. If you don't do it with the elemental, the captain dies.
We give ourselves a chance. Like we need to just draw Bone Mare. If we draw Bone Mare, we just stop the cycle of elementals. Like now I can get an elemental that contests our captain. But if we get Bone Mare, we just go out of reach. Also, if we draw the second captain, we go out of reach.
We could ping their captain, go face. And then it's like, we get a guaranteed ping next turn. We're looking to
Well,
pick
then-
up Blizzard and kill their guy for a thing, right?
I like playing the 3/6, drawing a card this turn.
Okay.
And if we ping their
I agree. They don't have enough
that.
attacks to kill it, so.
Yeah.
Well, we don't do that.
No.
So we're gonna rope and we're gonna go face for 2.
Yeah.
So we got a Blizzard and a Flame Strike left. We have a Doomsayer if we ever need that, which we might for the late game scenario. Okay. So cards to think about from them. Swash is like an X Factor. Deckhand. 2 Cold Bloods are useless. Bone Mare.
We missed 1 damage this game. That was bad, but whatever.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
And I play the Firefly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second piece too.
No. We keep it for combo with second Firespan Slayer.
Second.
Go face with the weapon.
Yeah. I mean, if we get Firespan Slayer, we can break one cycle of the hero power.
Yeah, keep it. One attack is not that important, hopefully.
Flame Strike, it's interesting.
I'm almost out of cards.
Beautiful.
Alright.
Alright.
Well, we do.
And we don't have to rope this turn.
Yeah.
So we have him on a 5.
You need to draw a Taunt or a Vile Spine.
We need.
Cold Blood.
Now it just.
We
I like trying to get some information. You can still get Swashbuckler into a defensive spell or something.
Yeah.
Wait, do we do anything?
No, we pass.
I pass.
Think about it. Let's just think about it.
You can play Flame. You can play Flame Elemental Cold Blood, I guess.
But then we don't have a chance to combo. And I mean,
Comboing Vile Spine doesn't help us, but let's think of something else.
We need to
mean,
get
only
HP next turn
Swashbuckler.
anyway.
It's only Swashbuckler that isn't out.
I mean,
So
next turn we get full damage.
maybe you just Flame Elemental Cold Blood and then you get an I don't know.
Let's go for it.
Maybe just Flame Elemental and no Cold Blood. No Cold Blood.
Nah, doesn't matter, man.
I would keep the Cold. Whatever.
I'm out of cards.
Yeah. So we're gonna go face. We're gonna ping. I don't see any reason to Blizzard their guy.
No.
Is there a reason to Doomsayer?
No.
Same turn. There is no Swashbuckler out because they only have one Swashbuckler left.
They'd have to get Jaina, right?
Yeah. And then we'd have the Blizzard. So.
So they Prince how many times?
They played like 5-6 Princes in the last 3 games.
Okay.
Wow, that one goes the distance, and the cold embrace of Jaina is able to take over the game despite the Swashbuckler and the Flame Strike almost taking out all of Lovey Lots' board.
That was really close. Only one water elemental was remaining after that, and it almost went down too. There was a tricky situation with the Frostpulse there, but Lovey Lots navigated that very well in the late game, making sure they set up situations where they could continue creating those water elementals. It was really well played, and they narrowly were able to close out that game.
And those little tiny decisions are the differences that can absolutely win or lose your games.
One misstep when you're in the Jaina mode, and suddenly your opponent gets a full board clear against you and just stops playing cards.
And it feels like
you can't make water elementals for the rest of the game.
And May just had like all the tricky plays. I mean, going back to like even the World Championships where Tice played against Osaka, and he pinged himself to prevent an ice block pop at 1. We saw Stancifka earlier today polymorph and ping his own minion to prevent Complexity from getting board space.
For an Atiesh.
Spreading Plague into the Rubian Spellweaver, or Unraveler rather. Here we see the ping your own water elemental to set up to ping again to refresh the water elemental on board in case that came up. A lot of little tiny things, but in the right situation they make a big difference.
Yeah, and now what's going to make a big difference for this series is what G2 decides to pick going into this Mage deck. It's kind of a weird deck to play against. So what do you think is the best option?
I'm looking at Hunter here. I think Hunter is so strong with the Bear Shark potential. Really the strong counterplay that Lovey Lots is going to have against that is going to be seated in Doomsayers. I think that Warlock's going to have a tough time with this. With the potential for lots of water elementals and burn in the late stages, plus just the removal options.
Actually, funny enough, I think Warlock's not bad. I think Warlock is like super favored against this deck.
I think it is favored, but I think it can be tough, and I think that they can get a better matchup with the Warlock down the road.
If you look at the deck, how much damage is really in it? Like the max burst they can do in 1 turn is 15 unless they glyph into additional burn, and with the amount of healing in Warlock, you can really not play any minions and kill your opponent, making Jaina useless. Because once you turn into the Death Knight, you do not need to play any minions for the rest of the game. You can just clear their water elementals and take them to fatigue and never get in range of dying.
I think that the Warlock can get a better matchup, is my point I'm making. And I don't think the Hunter's getting that much of a better matchup.
I'm not so sure that I agree with you. I think the Warlock played properly in the matchup should be only losses due to glyph RNG. Otherwise, I think it should win almost every time.
You're free to think what you want, but I will disagree with you.
Okay.
No matter how much logic or sense that you make to me.
But I do kind of agree with your point that Hunter sucks. So since like that was one of your subtle points you made there. Hunter's
that
not
was
very
actually the overarching point that I was making. Yeah.
I'm glad we're on the same page. So yeah, you can queue Hunter here because Hunter's not a good deck and Warlock is a good deck, so you can find yourselves being able to get a good matchup, when you can with the Hunter. But they are going to go with Mage.
Yeah, and that Burn Mage is telling. This is a favorable matchup, I think, for Burn Mage due to the nature of cards like Medivh in the end game and potentially Archmage Antonidas. I think that both of those play a large role here because G2 is just simply going to have a lot more burn access than Lovey Lots will have.
Fireland's Portal. For sure. That's a card that's excluded from Lovey Lot's deck. Instead of the late-game burn spells such as Pyroblast and Fireland's Portal, they run Jaina and slower cards. And usually in the Mage Mirror, the first one to pop the Ice Block is going to win.
Yeah. Now, Jaina does offer some recovery potential in the face of that.
It's difficult to recover, though.
Well, it's the turn your opponent's going to pop your block.
Right.
If you get Jaina on that turn, it is much more difficult to justify popping an Ice Block then.
Unless they can pop your Ice Block and freeze the Water Elemental. But let's listen in on G2 and hear maybe about their deck selection.
Jaina can still really be annoying. They kept
the cards, so we go Worm, right?
Yeah. You might Frostbolt the Archaeologist that they gonna play here. But it's fine. It's fine. You want to defend the Mana Worm.
If they don't have Mana Arm, that's fantastic. Doomsayer is annoying here. But I don't think they would keep Doomsayer, because they might think it's Quest Mage. So we Frostbolt it, you say?
Yeah, it's a great Frostbolt. There's nothing else to Frostbolt even. Like, the deck is full of spells.
Yeah, they're just a Mana Worm Mage.
Dark Reaper costs 3.
We're assuming it's Burn Mage because they didn't want to queue it in.
They didn't want to queue it into what?
Into Druid.
Okay. Could be Secret Mage. Just like aggro-y with the 5/5s.
Isn't Secret Mage a better matchup than Rogue?
I think so, but we can't think too deeply. They banned Shaman.
Alright.
Yeah. Their plan for Druid was Rogue.
Yeah, that was that was their overall plan.
Yeah.
And they.
I would say Arcanologist. It's inefficient, but at least we have the option to play Acolyte next turn or just go Secret Medivh.
Acolyte is super sword. Like in this matchup, it's sometimes not even bad to draw secrets because you don't mill yourself then. But that's like really far away.
What to do?
For turn 3. Yeah, I think it's Acolyte. Like I think you need a mana vision. Then you go Arcanologist Ping, and then you go Secret Valet. Like, it's just really nice. I think it's fine. I will go Acolyte here. And just pass. And then you go, yeah.
I mean, the other option is Fireball, right? And that's not good.
That's not good at all, no.
So let's Glyph.
Yeah. It's Polymorph or...
What about Counterspell, but for later? They have coins still.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Counterspell for later. Potion of Poly could be later too, but...
So how does this match play out? Like, what's the big picture strategy going on here?
We don't play as much draw. We don't play as much burn. So they're gonna have a much better kill us plan. We're trying to just stabilize on a Jaina at some point, unless we happen to pick up Alex and 15 points of burn, in which case, let it rip.
I think Counterspell is better because the turn we play Counterspell, they might want to think to play around Entity, and then it could screw them up. And
Yeah, it seems like the right card.
Do we want this Blood Mage down, or do we want to ping somewhere?
Well, if they Fireball our Dark Reaper, the Acolyte farms our Blood Mage.
Yep, so let's ping
the Worm.
The Worm.
Yeah. And we could have pinged Phase.
This is well. What I'm thinking here is this is just like kind of threatening their Worm. They might read into it a little much, and then they might trade off their Worm rather than like doing.
Think about like Volcanic.
Yeah, they might do that instead of something better. Like.
I'm thinking how Frostbolt Acolyte trade ping is, but that's too aggressive, I think.
Way too aggressive.
Yeah, it's probably just Arcanologist ping, right? Or
ping the Acolyte or ping his guy?
How much do we want to draw with the Acolyte? That's just a question. Like, I don't think you want really more than even.
I think it's fine to draw one. We need to get closer to Jaina.
Yeah, or Medivh. Yeah, I guess I guess it's just our Arcanologist ping our own Acolyte.
An incredible discovery!
Time runs out on me.
And pass. Or you can attack with Acolyte, maybe.
Don't like attacking.
Feeling Barrier, Medivh, the 2/2 Worm, or we could Medivh the Acolyte.
I mean, if this is anything like Burn Mage Mirrors, which I think it is a bit, you really want to focus on stopping card draw over board presence. Like board presence gets blizzarded.
The board presence is gonna go away. That's the idea. So we kill the Acolyte.
And like we have a barrier up, so we really don't care if they get some quote unquote chip damage.
Okay. So we're gonna kill that Acolyte.
Excuse me.
We might try to save Thalmos for post Jaina, make a Welly.
Yep.
I don't know if that's a real thing.
Probably not, but we'll see. I mean, if we were to like draw good cards and then draw Jaina, we'd probably hold it. But
Woo, there's a lot going on in this game. I like G2's plan though. Draw lots of cards, deal lots of damage.
Yeah, just look at the size difference between the two hands here. If you look at Love You Lot's hand, kind of dwindling, only 5 cards in it, not the most high impact cards in the world. You look at G2 Esports on the other side, they have an entire fistful of cards there, 9 cards in the hand, one of them of course being the coin, but just so many options, so many threats for later. They have the Firelands Portal in their deck and the Medivh the Guardian in the deck as finishing threats. And it's just so much faster than the threats in Love You Lot's deck of basically just Jaina. And
the question there, though, is how much can Love You Lots actually contain this board? You know, I'm looking at G2's perspective, that trade of the Mana Worm, they may never intend to actually attack face to not have to deal the extra damage from Ice Barrier.
I think that would be a mistake because they have the Medivh in hand, so they're going to be able to generate a lot of board presence. So forcing your opponent to have to deal with that board presence is important and will consume a lot of their mana, making it so they can't draw cards and they can find themselves in a little bit of awkward positions. So with Medivh, with Firelands Portal, I think it's correct to just pressure the ice barriers. There was something I kind of learned in the Ungoro metagame back when the Burn Mage Mirrors happened a lot. You'd get in these weird situations where you'd have Arcanologist staring across the board at another Arcanologist in the Burn Mage Mirror, and they would play a secret. And you had to decide, well, do I risk the potential of Barrier to try and sneak in 2 damage, or do I just ignore it? And after playing that matchup a lot, I sort of concluded that if you're running Firelands Portals in your deck, which Burn Mages were just starting to do at the time, that you must always just push the extra 2 because you're going to need to have the threat of minion pressure later on to force their hand, force action from them.
Excellent point you make. Let's listen to G2 as their turns get underway. Pretty weak draw from them.
Just insta-pick. Maybe they're scared of whatever.
Okay. Just pass, right?
Yeah, attack first.
This is such a passive game, man.
Yeah, but we are better. Like if.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's nothing to say here. Like.
Moment, talk about whatever.
Yeah, definitely rope it out. I want to act like we're kinda.
So we're definitely saving
Firelands Portal.
They might coin Medivh, in which case we can go like Fireball. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we can do it.
To get to Jaina faster than them. So Koi Medivh, right?
Yeah, and attack. The party.
Another barrier.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's a lot of health, man.
Yeah, but it's
literally the same.
It's not so relevant. We have to win it by value. Like it's gonna be value. So if they're gonna have Jaina, we're gonna have a hard time. But that's
set up the counter spell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think pinging a Blood Mage for a free water
is pretty good. Yeah,
pretty good.
Because they're going to be playing around it. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. I
like this a lot. And I think Volcanic first. I'm not sure. If there's Counterspell.
We already tested for Counterspell.
Okay.
Yeah,
it could be Bender, but that's
it could be Bender. So we should Fireball first, in case it's Bender.
Okay.
To check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Time runs out on me.
All right. Next turn with Jaina, no matter what, basically.
Oh, that's annoying.
Do we play around it?
Well, I mean, you kind of want to respect it, right? Like go Volcanic Potion or something, like a random spell that's really bad in a matchup. You can flame. You can flame. I don't.
Yeah, I think Flame Strike is the compromise if you wanna play on spell on counter spell.
I'm for Flame Strike here in this case.
Yeah, like you cannot go Portal here. That's just what I'm really sure. So you go Flame Strike. It's fine.
Time runs out on me.
Like in this matchup, Flame Strike and Volcanic are like the same.
Yeah, they counter spelled Flame Strike. That's fine.
No, Jaina! Come on. It's not fair.
Do not fear.
Oh, so we have to Firelands.
Firelands thing.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's decent.
Firelands paying their water elemental.
Yeah.
They're running out of cards. We can run them out of value.
Yeah, but it's difficult against Jaina.
That's good minions.
No, that's actually really good.
Is it difficult against Jaina? We can kill a bunch of water elementals.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I already know this.
We can go. I think we're gonna int, right?
Yeah, this is gonna be a draw turn.
Yep.
We want to hit Fireball ideally. We got 2 Doomsayers.
That's interesting.
We've got all the freezes in our deck still. Is this the turn we want to just ping our Thalnos?
I really like that, actually.
What happens if we Frostbolt their 6/6 and make a Doomsayer?
If we Frostbolt their
2.
6/6 and make a Doomsayer or 2. If we make 2, it's quite hard for them to clear. I kind of like that.
And then set up like a Thalnos ping for next turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even an offensive Alexstrasza.
Sure. So we're good with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm probably not going to be playing Meteor.
That'd be...
Kill the Doomsayers? I think so, right?
What do you want to use? Polymorph and Fireball?
I'm just wondering, do we want to kill the Doomsayers?
maybe I'm.
I mean, if we kill the Doomsayers, we play directly into a Flame Strike, but if we don't, then we just lose the board anyway.
No, we play into Blizzard too, because they can Blizzard and ping our guy. I think we let it go.
It's gonna be a really strange game to... It might just be that we're now not gonna do any 10 turns. That's what I'm thinking about. Like,
do we ever play Doomsayer ourselves?
To get rid of it.
Yeah, I'm thinking of it.
Doomsayer is not too bad in this matchup.
Then I'll keep it. But I don't think we
don't play it. Don't play anything. Just face and don't play anything.
No, they played one Fireball.
We're just gonna... Because every ping is in their favor, so we have to just, I think, stall.
Yeah, I also think we stall until we get our own Jaina. And then we can dictate the terms. Also, ideally, it's if we get a better value. That's why I wanted to kill the Doomsayer, so that we have more space in our hand. Because what if they just pass back?
Yeah, but then we...
Then we can still do second board, okay,
yeah, like if they have like small minions.
Makes sense.
I was thinking of playing Glyph or something, maybe, but no.
Wow. They have their own Jaina.
Right. They have their own Jaina, which is going to help
That's
them.
what he said anyway.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he'd be bluffing it to his team. So this is a really interesting game, and the fatigue count, or the deck card remaining count, is very, very close. 13-13 for both players, with G2 a half step ahead because they're the first one to draw. But
that means Lovey Lots can't play Arcanologist. They can't play Thalnos, though, to draw those cards.
Because if they start drawing cards, which they're committing to right now, now it's a position where all G2 has to do is not give Lovey Lots the opportunity to make water elementals.
2 draws.
And they'll win the game in fatigue.
So Lovey Lots, I imagine when they do this, they don't anticipate G2 having their own Jaina.
Yeah, they're just saying they don't have the Jaina, or they don't have the ability to prevent all the water elementals. There was an interesting opportunity for G2 Esports earlier on. With the double Doomsayer turn from Lovey Lots, G2 could have discarded their Etiesh by playing 2 spells.
Or just by attacking with it.
Or just by playing 1 spell like Primordial Glyph and then attacking with it, so that they could remove water elementals in the future without creating minions, so that they could more easily just clear Lovey Lots' board and ignore for the rest of the game. Because if there's no minions in play, if neither player is doing anything, you can't make water elementals, and all Lovey Lots' deck does is remove things. So they need the generation of water elementals to actually push initiative. Otherwise, the game can be just passed back and forth, and whoever has less cards in their deck is going to lose.
Wow, this is crazy. Lovey Lots with a weird Primordial Glyph here. Let's listen to them and see what they think of this game now.
I like Flame Strike better, because they're not expecting that as much.
Okay, it does more, and they have a lot.
Yeah.
That's basically the analysis.
And we're gonna kill their guy and go face.
Yeah, we want to make a guy while killing their guy. That sounds great.
They have a whole lot.
Do we want to use the valet? We could just...
Yes.
Okay.
Polymorph gets better targets. This is like a...
Well, no, I meant we could just trade, right?
You can trade our 3/3 and not have a 2/3 on board, but then it puts our thing at 3 health anyways, right?
Alright, we have never played this pan out, boys. We have never been Jaina v Jaina gamers. They have more value in their deck.
They
I'm
got
getting
an
worried.
Etiesh.
They probably have at least, like...
Oh, I don't know about that, but...
We got more armor, though.
We got the armor. We got the armor.
Okay.
They do have that Elise. They've got the Elise. The Flame Strike was a really good call, by the way. We're gonna go Flame Strike. Oh, geez, we can't clear these very well. We gotta trade our guy in. We're gonna leave ourselves with a 3/3, a 3/6. Right?
Yeah.
Wait, so
we go Welly into Welly, dude into dude, and then we ping the last dude.
Yeah, 3/6,
3/3, 3/6. They're not frozen, but they're not gonna swing anyway.
Yeah. They have to, like, Blizzard ping to exploit our Welly.
Yeah.
Everyone's at 30 forever.
Forever, dude. Just the whole time we are gonna be at 30. We are past that point. We've accepted it.
So I think you wanna always volcanic potion ping. That always, I think, happens.
Does it? I mean, what if we just go for Alexstrasza this turn?
No, it doesn't matter. Like, they lifesteal, never. You need every value. You need everything. Every turn you need to make a water elemental. Yeah, I don't think. I think we volcanic first, and then it's 1 less mana, but otherwise we damage your own minion too.
What if we just polymorph ping? Polymorph ping, and then we go glyph, and then we just let it go. We could frostball their guy too.
Polymorph is decent too. Yeah, that's a close call actually.
We can also just volcanic fireball. What about that?
Yeah, that was what I was thinking of. But you want a volcanic first. The 1 mana difference is okay. Ping that one.
Fireball?
Oh man. Yeah, fireball it. You cannot frostball it, so. Yeah.
Keeping polymorph is good for Alex. It's fine.
Nah, it's also the best card.
Should have started actually with the fireball.
No, because,
no,
you
because
damage your minion.
You damage your own minions with the volcanic.
A damage 4-drop, I think, is worse than a non-damage 3-drop.
I mean, this 3-5 is horrible though, but it doesn't do anything.
In acceptance. So, well, we could try to hold on to this fireball. Alongside, no, that's never gonna work. We only have 9 points of burn. They're never gonna get down to 9 with wellies and such. They also have more burn than that.
If we fireball and ping their face, they're never gonna play anything.
I know.
So
we should
poly to force them to play more cards so we can see their deck better. Right?
We could hold on to the Alex, the Fireball, and the Frostbolt and try to get to a point where they're in fatigue. We Alex them, and then we burn them for 10, and they die to fatigue. So I think I like polying. Thoughts?
What about when they Alex us?
Poly. We freeze it and wait. I don't know.
Yeah. Still have a bunch of freezes left.
I mean, they're gonna need to misplay for us, right? So we're in.
Yeah, you go first, I guess.
Flame strike, right?
Yeah, every time.
I mean, the other ones are horrible.
Yeah, you need to polymorph this.
And barrier.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Why not, right?
They're not gonna play Eater of Secrets.
Show played 1 counter spell. Do we throw out a Frost Nova initially?
I don't really want to Frost Nova this board. Like, Water Ellie can attack for 3. It's fine.
You want to tank?
We could ping the alley, right?
Yeah, we're definitely pinging the alley, I think.
Yeah.
And then we tank a turn?
Yeah.
Unless we want to jam an Alex Straza or something, I don't really want to.
No, we're holding that for a while.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, ping Welly, draw Flame Strike.
Yeah.
Do we play that? We don't draw any secret.
Like
this
now you
is like
can
set up for Flame Strike.
Yeah, but that's...
Yeah, it's a Flame Strike setup.
Now I don't know if you want... Like, the body of Alex is actually pretty good here too, the 8-8. And we cannot make a Water Alley. So I think we just... we might just go Alex here. What do you think?
Aren't they gonna hit it back?
Yes, but the body of the 8-8 is what I'm thinking of now. Or you don't think it's worth it?
Maybe 4.
Maybe we don't allow them to heal it back, right?
Yeah, but so like we can make it.
The time is now.
I mean, Alex for fatigue is also gonna be hard to use. I think you do it. I will go Alex. I think. Just to have the body.
I bring life.
Monkus!
Alright, so how do we do this?
We could
Nova ping the Alex, say go, and then Fireball ping it next turn?
Yeah.
What do you think is the way?
Well, I'd rather Blizzard. Well, I guess then we can't do the ping thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way we can realistically make an alley.
Yeah. I'm just thinking if we Fireball ping to make an alley next turn, we don't actually get to freeze their guys, so they probably can manipulate their guys to make an alley.
And what do you want to do?
Well, I'm thinking about how we can chain freeze while making a welly, but it's kind of tough.
It's very hard.
We could... there's really not much. So yeah, I guess your play is the best on the table right now.
Time is now.
I'm okay with Muzzy's play. So we're gonna Nova and then ping the Alex if it goes off.
Away.
Yeah.
Other than that one. Just ping pass, right?
Yeah, I don't know what this like Arcanologist. You might maybe. Do you pay?
No, I don't play it because they have Blizzard.
Okay. Yeah,
They might not even have Flame Strike. I don't think they have Flame Strike. Like, I think against Flame Strike...
I think they have Firebolt, that's why they ping Alex. Like, I was...
So...
We can make a welly and say go.
We need to deal with that thing. Let's shoot it.
Unfortunately, after we make a welly, they bump our welly and Blizzard and make a welly. Right?
And then...
So, like... What can we do about that?
Shows list doesn't play Blizzard.
They don't run Blizzard. Okay, fair. So we're just we're gonna let this go. It's alright.
Does shows list run Doomsayer?
No.
Okay.
We're gonna make a welly. That's all I know in life is wellies.
I think you always Blizzard trade ping, and you trade with the other ally, and it's super good. It's super good. Otherwise, they do it. Like you trade with other allies often, so.
Sure.
I'm thinking how to play Arcanologist, but maybe it's better off not, because you make yourself a little too weak to Blizzard.
Yeah, I wouldn't play.
Yeah, 2 HP is perfect. It's so good, 2 HP.
Yep. So we're gonna do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
If we didn't draw, would we have a chance?
I don't know.
Might have, right? Cause
we're down a lot of cards. Like, if their cards do things, which they might not. I mean, Acolyte, 2 Arcanines,
they just showed a Blizzard,
secrets.
so
they have a lot of secrets. They have
so.
all their secrets still. Like,
I mean,
I mean, we have Flamestruck that kills with Falnos, that kills an elemental.
No, you never do that.
No,
I'm not saying now. I'm not saying now.
No, but then they ping off Telnos. Like if you play Telnos, you always need to ping your own Telnos. You just ping.
What if we Doomsayer?
No. I wanna ping just and then play Flameshark ping the turn after.
But can they kill the Doomsayer?
But I just want the water. You can go Doomsayer maybe, because then you can go Telnos. But I don't know if I want that.
How do they kill it?
Yeah, but what? Like, I want to get also use out of my Flamestork, maybe. I guess you can go Doomsayer, it's fine. If you feel the Doomsayer, that's fine. It's Doomsayer or ping the Water Alley. Ping Water Alley is fine. We have a good play too.
No, I don't think I want a Doomsayer. I think we Doomsayer in a turn where we go double Doomsayer.
Yeah, but we probably don't need it. We're really good at the moment.
Ooh, we can make.
Do we do it, or do we just keep this one Ellie for now?
We can do that later. Why would we do it now?
Should we just Alex them?
That's what I'm thinking.
We should just Alex them because we never Alex ourselves, right?
Do we? I'm thinking if we Alex and fatigue, they can't heal back the damage. With the
what if it's mirror entity, potion, polymorph, frozen clone?
Wait, their secret wasn't random, right? It wasn't
a random.
Let's go face.
Yeah, this wasn't a random.
It's barrier.
Good.
All right, I think we don't Alex for now because they're gonna get a welly eventually, and they're gonna start healing back the.
Oh, you're right. The
damage. We want to Alex sometime in fatigue or something.
Yeah.
I like pinging face.
Yeah.
I think we just ping face, and we let this situation sit because they have to play cards first.
Yeah.
And we don't want them removing our wellies because we have 7 more cards. We don't even have 7. We have 5 cards to generate wellies the rest of this game, and one of them is Frost Nova. So we need to make absolute usage of these cards.
You can go Mana Worm Blizzard ping, Mana Worm Flameshark ping.
I think it's fine, but Mana Worm is weak to Blizzard ping, but I think it's okay. I don't mind it that much.
Yeah, but also them pinging or... I think you do that, yeah.
The Mana Worm Blizzard ping?
Yeah, if they have it, then we go Doomsayer, they can't kill it, it's fine. If they commit a card, now every card they commit, we just win, man. We just have, we're gonna end up with 1 or 2 more cards and we win. Like, this is our game.
Dude, we can't do both. Yeah, so maybe we tank.
Like we can ping a turn.
We could ping the welly and go
what?
for flame strike. If we
Oh, you're
blizzard and ping, they get to ping their own guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you want to ping the welly?
I want to ping the welly and draw flame strike. Well, we can wait 2 turns if needed, right?
Okay.
And they might ping their own welly in that case, which would be interesting. But yeah, I think that's what we end up doing is we ping the welly.
All right.
I'm entertained. Let's do it.
Okay, so 2 Demon Slayer, Valet, Arcanine, 1, 2, 3, 4. They played the Mana Worm.
Their own water elemental here. You don't want to give them such a nice flame strike that they also get the water element. You just ping your own water element.
Agree. So we just go face and ping. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they have to commit. If they don't commit, we win. And if they commit, we also win. We just then gain another water alley.
Ping their own guy.
I'm
We didn't draw it anyway. Lol.
So now we can ping a 3 health guy, right?
And then they'd ping their own 3 health guy. Which is fine, but
Yeah, just fine. It's progress. Then we get the blizzard ping.
Yeah.
we wouldn't get to ping anything.
Yeah, we do. Oh, they ping their own.
No. They'd both be
Okay.
pinged.
But
Well, make them figure it out, right? Like,
just make them figure it
Yeah,
out.
of course. So ping Mana Worm.
Yeah. This is kind of funny.
If we didn't draw, I think we might have had.
Yeah, we might have. But that one turn, I don't know.
It was really awkward for us. Like
We decided to draw.
Yeah.
So we're gonna ping.
The time is now. I must decide.
There cannot be a card where it matters that they put this at 2 HP, so don't worry too much about display what they here did.
Yeah, we just attack and do our thing.
Yeah. And we just pass. Like, let them commit. We just pass.
I don't even mind if we overdraw, because we don't have good cards remaining. We have Doomsayer and Volcanic left.
Volcanic is a good card, man.
I like those.
We're way too dead. Like, they have 12 burn. There's no way.
Volcanic, Medivh, Valet ping here.
Yeah, I like it.
Because you will need this water alley. Yeah. Fine. Yeah, it's good. And if they put it at 5, we just ping it again and let them come again. It's super good. It's super good already.
Yeah, I was thinking if we have lethal, but we don't.
Oh, I'm only thinking of water elementals, man.
Yeah.
We get to start healing it immediately. Maybe we...
I mean, if we ping it, they're gonna ping it again.
Yeah. So we either Tar Creeper and ping, or we Alex.
Well, I hate the Alex.
What do we probably get to see the most cards if we Alex them and they freak out, right?
Yeah. I think we're not winning.
No, so we're gonna Alex. We're just gonna try and spook them or something. I don't know.
Okay.
It's not gonna work. Like.
I'm out of cards.
So they take 2.
It's not lethal. 11, 40. No, it's not lethal. It's lethal, right? 12, 15, 16, 17. You have 11 in hand, 12 is ping.
Yeah, it's lethal.
17.
I think it's lethal.
Yeah.
So Talnos is like 7 plus 4, that's 11. 13, 16, 17, 19. Yeah, it's lethal.
Yeah. Damn it! Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that was our game. We were super ahead. Just gotta not. You can throw this game so hard, so we control it nice. Nice.
Yeah, we got him. Okay. We beat them in fatigue.
Yeah, so that's how it always goes, man, this matchup.
We didn't show them Doomsayers, and they might not...
It's 3-2 now in favor of G2. Those couple of extra card draws. Firebat, you've been talking about it all week long. Fatigue matters.
It does matter. You got to be very conscious in the Death Knight metagame if you need that extra card. A lot of control matchups come down to the balance of resources, the balance of how many cards do I need to have in my hand to make sure I have enough options not to fall behind in the game, whereas you can potentially have just enough and then you're in the sweet spot, but you can potentially have too many options and then you lose in fatigue, or you can have too few and then you get overrun on the board. And it looks like they drew a few too many cards there and we ended up losing in fatigue.
Indeed they did. Game 6 is going to be coming up. We'll see what Lovey Lots is playing right after this.
You guys seeing this?
Game, record, and stream without compromise. Only on Intel Core i7.
Welcome back to the Intel Esports Arena here in Burbank. Brought to you, of course, by Intel, Twitch, and ESL for Trinity Series 2. I'm Nathan, that's Admirals Moore, joined by James Firebat Kosicic in a pretty crazy game that we had in that Mage versus Mage. I think the biggest mistake that happened in that matchup was the overdrawing from Team Lovey Lots, but I think G2 used their resources incredibly ineffectively and gave away a lot of water elementals.
I think the way that the decks kind of line up, they're very similar, right? But G2 has the advantage of they have Medivh for extra value, and they have double Firelands Portal for additional value on top of that instead of what is Tar Creepers in the opposition's deck. So having these extra threats, they should win this control mirror almost every time, and they got off to a pretty good start. But once they were ahead, instead of slowing the game down and just making it really hard to create water elementals in general, they played offensively. We saw Alex Straza come out once there was no reason for that to come out. They were ahead of water elemental and they just kept pushing the initiative, which kept giving opportunities for Team Lovey Lots to make water elementals and have a chance in the game. I think that game should have been over 15 turns before that. They could have set up a situation where they'll take it to fatigue every single time and win, but they just kept playing their cards out there. I thought it was very strange.
They were ahead on card count and deck.
And in
They
hand.
have the advantage in the matchup with the extra burn. They have board.
Yeah, and they have board.
All they have to do is eliminate the board presence, because one of the best counterplays against Jaina is simply to do nothing.
Right.
Once you're ahead.
I think they cut it a little close there. They still were able to pull it out in the end, but
they're giving themselves opportunities to miss something little here and there. Like they missed the blizzard.
They missed like 5 different spots to deny water elementals. There's a lot of areas where they could have pinged their own minion and done plays like this where they kind of overlooked that opportunity.
If you want my opinion, though, I think the bigger mistake is drawing the extra cards. But we're getting into game number 6 now. Lovey Lots is going to fire up Pirate Warrior to take on this Burn Mage.
Pirate Warrior, pretty good versus Burn Mage.
Last week, Lovey Lots was playing Prince Kalaseth version, though, and they had Sarnic Chain Gang in there to try to fight the board presence issues. I'm curious if they've changed this up at all, but I mean, I still see the Tar Creeper in here.
Right. Tar Creeper, not very great against Burn Mage because there's usually spells are the problem, not minions on the board, so it doesn't help you much, and it's not a very strong offensive power. They keep the Bloodsail Cultist.
Love keeping the Bloodsail Cultist. I think Bloodsail Cultist is actually the most important card in Pirate Warrior because of the draws that it enables for you. Being able to activate N'Zoth's First Mate for big value. If they've included Fiery War Axe, being able to upgrade that. Just even having an upgrade weapon alongside a Pirate, you can emulate what that N'Zoth's First Mate does. But with 2 Mana Worms here in the open, an Arcane Intellect to draw, Frostless Jaina, if G2 can buy enough time, I think they got this game in the bag.
They're going to need a lot of time. Medivh costs 8, Jaina costs 9. They're pretty far off.
But look at this hand. This isn't the typical Pirate Warrior that you're used to seeing. There's no Bloodsail Raiders, no Fiery War Axe. I mean, this is Sarnic Chain Gang and Tar Creeper here.
Yeah, these are not very strong offensive threats. And as well, being so board-focused, not too great against Mage. Mage runs a lot of freezes. The one thing they do have going for them, though, is G2 Esports Mage deck, they clearly saw that it is very greedy. It's got Jaina, it has Alex, double Firelands Portal, there's a Flame Strike in there. Just there's a Medivh, so many heavy cards that's why they chose this aggressive deck to go into it, but it's not working out right now.
We'll see how this game ends up going. And
it's
Arcanite Reaper certainly a good draw.
Oh, against Mage, it's
lots.
Fantastic. There is most likely no weapon removal in G2 Esports deck. They didn't get to see quite every card, but they got to see enough cards where they could piece together what would be typical 2-ofs and realize that there's no weapon removal in this deck.
This has been a very high-level match so far, and while we've seen some missteps in those micro decision-makings, they're tough spots to navigate if you haven't been into them before. Let's listen to Love You Lots here how they're crafting this game.
Axe. It's still good.
Would have been real good there, yeah.
Fireball it next turn.
Yeah, definitely we don't attack.
My god, this hand.
But is it Prince 2 Warrior? Or what is this like?
Yeah, it's Prince 2 Warrior.
Okay.
They just play Dark Reaper and Firefly.
Instead
like,
of instead of like the Bloodsail or
they don't have Bloodsail, they don't have Heroic Strike. And then they
want to kill the 2/2 actually.
Well, yeah, but that takes 2 damage on our Dark Reaper. We don't develop nearly as much power.
Don't care.
So good.
Why don't we care about power?
Because I wanted to upgrade my Reaper.
But I want a 3/4 on the board now.
Nope.
What? Really?
3/4 gets worse later. I kind of want to upgrade my Reaper as well. I'm thinking about how this game's. I don't think we're gonna be overwhelmingly on board.
Their deck is a bunch of AoE, and my game plan is to weapon it.
Yeah, but right now AoE does not clear a 3/4 and a 3/5. Or
they're gonna be able to handle our board.
We need to decide. I'm gonna play Flame now. Am I gonna kill the 2/2?
Yes.
Right?
I do think it's close.
I've been overruled.
But
it's fine. It's fine.
I feel like the way this game's going, I need a lot of weapon damage.
Okay.
I think the way their deck's built, our minions don't connect much.
I think they connect more than average against Mage because they didn't.
They have double Mana Worm opener. Like we're just not getting anything done here.
No, we would have had a Target for just blocking. Now we're just behind.
Got Chain Gang blocking.
All right. So Chain Gang.
I mean, unless we want to like Korokron and value trade or something.
Which we don't.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Taking a very long time.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. Chain Yang is pretty good. I won't deny you that, Soleil. Long-term game plan being crafted here from 2 of the 3 members of Love You Lots anyway.
I really like it. It's really cool to see the team adapt to the opening. We talked about how Mage can sometimes have these wild card openings with Mana Worm being so incredibly powerful. Well, there was a double Mana Worm opening. So what Love You Lots has done here is they gave up the traditional Pirate Warrior game plan of fight for the board as aggressively as possible with your minions, and they're kind of changing it around and saying, well, our board's going to get removed anyway because their opening was so good. It doesn't always happen, but when it does, maybe it's time to just abandon the board and come up with a different plan. And we know they have no weapon removal because we saw all of their cards last game. Let's make the Ultimate Reaper. I think it's cool.
Ultimate Reaper.
Yeah.
Sounds like a weird action flick. I'd watch that.
Some sort of like Overwatch action flick.
Let's listen to Love You Lots, hear what they're thinking as Freshly Played Secret just came down.
Conditional.
So
we play big boys.
How many guys do we make here? Because I think 2 is generally the right number, right? We want less, not more.
So we would hold both deckhands, you're saying? Now, our where's our patches going? Is it going into the 2/1? Is it going into the 1/1? Like, they have Volcanic Potion, Flame Strike, Blizzard.
I think it goes into the 2/1.
Okay.
So you want a Dread Corsair?
I want a Dread Corsair for sure, and Cultist for sure. And then
I'm not sure. Maybe deckhand's better than Dread Corsair if we're like trading or something.
I like the Dread Corsair on the board just because it's bigger.
Yeah.
I just feel like they get
the deckhand gets traded on board.
Yeah.
And it's the easiest one to play in the future. I mean, I guess Dread Corsair is 0, but...
Okay.
The question is if we want one deckhand out there. Do we really need this 2/1 to push extra times or no?
No.
Okay,
it's,
then play,
stuff's gonna die.
Play
They're
one
gonna AoE
deckhand then. Play one deckhand.
Why?
because if they like the 2-1 is never gonna push twice. That's what I meant. Is the
I hate boards. Just play strike, man.
Fantastic. If something is not done, it's allowed.
That was a very philosophical quote, guys.
Okay.
So Corkron, we can put them to 13.
We can put them to 7 the way I see it. Pop them at 2 next turn.
7. Yeah. So Corkron, punch, armor out.
Yeah.
You read July?
Yep.
Unfortunately, we're going straight into the Alex turn with our pop, but
what are you gonna do?
Brutal.
You still Fireball.
I think you Fireball. You play Fireball Barrier, and then you go Jaina. Jaina is always before Alex.
Yeah.
I mean, the lifesteal is crucial, though.
Yeah, and Alex after Jaina, and you might have a Water Alley on board. It's insane.
Down, kind of deviate.
I want a Spellbreaker Tar Creeper.
The other plays.
So the thinking here is we're nowhere close to killing them. We need to prevent them from drawing those 9 drops.
Yeah.
Well, we are we want to get the weapon swings in soon because it makes upgrade effects better. It makes axe better.
But they're at 15.
I know, but
3 turns anyways. I think we need one. Like the Spellbreaker to hit face.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Agreed. Spellbreaker Tar
The
Creeper.
Doomsayer is always gonna be whatever. So.
Your magic shall not save
Unlucky.
Who wield it?
They had a card in their deck. We don't beat it. Yeah.
So we can we're dead.
We are quite dead, yeah. I mean, do we see it through? We could trade deckhand into the water. We would hit twice in the water alley and trade everything and leave ourselves a target. We're not going to win, right?
No.
Alright. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I want to concede.
Sure. Hit him up with the concede.
We've already seen their deck. No reason to show.
Vent our frustrations.
I chose death.
Shucks.
Alright. Good stuff.
Wow. What an opener from G2. The double Mana Worm to shut off the aggression. And you heard Love You Lot say it. Well, let's silence the Blood Mage. Keep him from drawing those 9 drops. They were all in hand.
Yeah, both of the 9 drops sitting in wait. That's the power level of Mage. It's a deck that goes in a couple different directions, and versatility is really good when people are trying to counter-queue you. Being able to kind of just go a completely different way with the deck and shut down aggro with those Mana Worms is pretty sweet when you're playing such a greedy Mage variant that is also able to outvalue other people.
Yeah, and this is a hefty swing right here at 4 games to 2 now. The big one is that the amount of counters left for Team Love You Lots is starting to dwindle.
Right, you don't really want to play Rogue against Mage typically, and you don't really want to play Paladin against Mage typically, so
I think against Burn Mage that Paladin is a little bit better because you're not seeing as much of the overall freeze and Doomsayer effect that's going on, so Gentle Megastore can still be a huge payoff in that scenario.
Yeah, and there's just a lot less anti-aggro cards. If you compare the 2 Burn Mages against each other, we look at the G2 Burn Mage, no Tar Creepers. We look at the Love You Lots Burn Mage, double Tar Creeper.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have any of the tech that's good against aggro, and instead has tech that would be good against the control matchups. So attack it with some aggro decks. They tried to do it with the Pirate Warrior, but Mage drew double Mana Worm, and so now they have to try it again.
Yeah, and here you can see some of the really big important stuff that's been going on here. A lot of board tension. The team dynamics have just been off the chart for these two. And of course, that percentage-based play. But the big story here is the power level for G2 is just over 9,000.
Just over 9,000. Wow, what an incredible amount of power. They're really demonstrating, why they're a force to be reckoned with, why they've had such consistent tournament results. If you're going to be, the European champion twice, you need to have a power level over 9,000.
And mind you, RDU has been one match away from the World Championships 2 times. And he would have been there probably in 2014, but Romania was ineligible to compete at the time.
Yeah, so he hasn't quite made it yet there, so I think his power level is like slightly under 9,000. But Tice is bringing it up.
It takes a while to realize that power and to truly achieve it.
It's a full body transformation.
They are miles ahead in this series now. My gosh, Team Love You Lots is in.
Well, they're European, so they're kilometers ahead probably.
Oh. It's a very good point to make.
Yeah, there are. The EU versus NA is happening right now. Team Love You Lots, some of the best players in North America. G2, some of the best players in Europe.
But now this is the second week in a row that we've seen Team Love You Lots fall behind significantly in series. And I think a lot of their circumstances have come about via the draws. But
you can definitely
in that mage game, the drawing extra cards, it was really unsettling to both of us when we saw that happen.
They were in a kind of desperate spot, so if I was going to try and justify it and explain why they were drawing extra cards, it's because they were staring down a Medivh. And now it's pretty difficult to kind of figure out how many cards do I need to be able to beat this Atiyesh? How many? Otherwise, am I going to get overwhelmed on the board? They had a really weak hand at the time, and they decided, I need to draw, otherwise G2 is just going to make a big board with the Atiyesh and kill me. So they were under the pressure of that, and they didn't realize that the Jaina was in the deck. Their whole game plan revolved around Jaina not being there. Because it's Burn Mage, and it's not always in Burn Mage. Oftentimes in that slot, you'll see something like a Pyroblast or an Archmage Antonidas. So because that happened to be Jaina, it really allowed G2 to make them sort of miscount for things and end up fumbling a little bit.
That's right, Crane. That's why you shouldn't show the Pyroblast in that circumstance. That's a very good point you make. There was no Pyroblast. Instead, there was the Jaina in that spot.
Right, and that just totally threw Team Love You Lots for a loop there, and that's why it looked like, we can see all the cards. We're like, obvious misplay, you're going to lose in fatigue, but not so obvious when you have no idea that they have the Jaina.
That's a very good point you make. Actually, that counters my entire argument. So I'm just literally wrong. It's very rare that anyone can ever call me wrong on a circumstance.
I mean, technically, there's some merit to what you're saying because they could have figured that out. I don't think
they could have figured that out.
Well, RDU has been playing this Burn Mage deck for months, actually. But I don't think as many people have played against RDU as many times as I've played against him. I think I've played against him at least 20 times in best of fives in the last month.
You can see the total game wins across the board so far in the Trinity series. Of course, we're only in week number 2.
Right.
Still 5 more weeks of competition left to go once this match has concluded. But Virtus Pro and Complexity, they're out to that lead. Complexity so close to closing the match today.
But just unable to do it.
Oh, they did close it.
Yeah, they did do it. Why would you say so close?
Well,
there was an 11 instead of a 12.
There was an 11 on the thing, and in my head I was like, wait a minute.
Thinking about,
did they lose? We interviewed Tyler.
I was very confused about that, but I was just supporting you. I was like, you're my co-caster. You know what?
I'm sorry. That's twice I'm wrong in one sitting. I'm just donezo.
That's all good. And we have some more sweet action. The Paladin coming out from Love You Lots to try and take down. We were right about that.
Well, I think it's a clear direction to take. Sure. Again, with G2 lacking a ton of early game stuff and being more dedicated at that top end, I think the aggression potential makes a difference.
Early game stuff.
Well,
every time they have drawn an incredible anti-aggro hand with this mage deck, even though they are running so many greedy tech choices, it's just lining up very nicely.
Well, they're polarized across the board. There's a lot of early game stuff. There's a lot of late game stuff. Not a ton of in between.
Yeah, maybe this approach of using Pirate Warrior Murloc Paladin isn't ideal. Maybe a mid-rangey deck would serve a lot better here.
I definitely don't think it's ideal. But I think it's what they've got. And they anticipated this series going way differently. Again, think about the Rogue game they lost with Warlock. The 14-14 Edwin Van Cleef on turn 3.
Rogue would be fantastic against this mage, actually, wouldn't it?
I don't think so. I think
Rogue's a lot more mid-rangey than the Paladin, though.
I agree with that, but I think Rogue struggles to mage almost any way you slice it.
Well, the thing about this Paladin, though, it's the Grimscale Chum variant. Does it even have the Scalebanes in there? Because Scalebane's a card you're going to want to have against this type of mage deck.
If there's one thing I know about Zalay,
he loves Scalebane.
And he loves Ike.
He does love Ike, and Ike loves Scalebane.
Yeah. And Ike loves Zalay, and I love You Lots. So let's listen to Love You Lots, Love You Lots.
Well, I definitely...
Well, maybe they coin ping their own face.
That's a card they didn't keep.
Yeah.
All right. I'm unhappy.
Shucks. Shoot.
Oh, dang it.
What I'm seeing is they're at 20.
Yeah.
I squeezed in the hero power in case Frost Giant
That's important for Bolvar.
Is Frost Giant rotated out of standard?
Yeah, he's gone.
Shucks. I kept that one.
There's that other card that was good against us. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna make 3 guys.
3 guys.
No particular order.
Yeah. Just any order will do.
No, it should have been Righteous first for Redemption. I messed it up.
Yeah, any order will do. Okay.
Awkward turn now. How is ping here?
I like
Ping
the
is fine. It's good versus Megazord. Ping trade. I like ping trade the most.
And then we probably go Arcanologist ping the turn after.
Or Arcanologist Thanos.
I just ping the Murloc away. I don't want to.
Like, let's think of other things they can do. So like they can Kings or they can Megazord.
Yeah, but they just started with 4 1-drops. Like they're running out of everything, oh man. Like they gotta get. We just want to remove.
Yeah. Agreed.
I guess it is.
We got one of the Megasaur.
Megasaur!
Yeah, it's pretty mega.
Roar! Alright, he's a little more tame with his roar.
Health.
I'm excited. I'm excited too, Mus.
Health.
Yeah, because then it's more health.
Health!
We trading?
Health and trade.
Trading.
Health. Take the health. Yeah! Good
Rocky.
stuff. Rocky Carapace. Just what I love to see. Slightly better than Divine Shield. Gotta love it.
Still have that card they kept. It was not worth playing on turn 3.
Could be, I'm thinking like Mana Worm, Volcanic Potion, Second Arcanologist.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things it could be. Including what it just was.
I'm thinking that the one that it was is a
The
special.
one that it was is a really good chance.
Hey.
I think we're gonna Rallying Blade this turn, and we might be taking a value bump, but I'm not sure. We might just trade off our 1/1 actually.
I kind of like trading off our one on the value. You know.
Trading off the 1/1 plays around Volcanic.
Yeah, it just
Like Volcanic.
Well, it doesn't really play around Volcanic, but
which path?
So maybe
I guess it doesn't.
Maybe we do take a.
You want to get them for 1, boys?
I want to
Say
take.
Volcanic doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I want to take a value bump.
Take a value bump.
A value bump with my 3/3.
With your 3/3, yeah.
Into the 1/1.
Into the 1/1.
Yeah.
And then we hero power, kill this guy with our blade, hit him for 6. Setting up for good old terrain.
So it's probably like spell or something. So it's barrier valet.
Yeah, I like the barrier now. It's kind of annoying pressure. Then yeah, barriers. I think barrier's better here. You definitely want to get the ice bow going too, though. But
Yeah, first we need to deal with the pressure.
Trade the Megas, then tear him face.
Yeah, that seems good.
Megas or tear him far right.
Far right. Why not left? Why not left?
Because if they glyph a meteor, then we
It'll only ever hit
Megazord later rather than redemptioning
I say far left.
I'm going left, yeah, because other stuff comes out on the right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay, it's
all
fine.
right.
Is it right to trade the Megasaur and not like use the weapon?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too.
You guys are right.
I mean, we could have, let's see, 16. We could have taken them to 11. No, they had barrier anyway. Good. Alright, so they have 1 Blizzard, 2 Volcanic Potions, 1
Woo, that's a lot of pressure, and it is unstopped this turn.
Yeah.
And lots of damage is typically how Paladin wins. If Paladin's able to secure a board position and get repetitive damage from the same minions, that's when G2 is in trouble here.
Right, and That's also why it's usually not the first choice against Mage, because it's pretty hard to get repetitive damage from your board against Mage.
Yes.
And one of the most difficult classes to be able to not be frozen against. But no freezes for G2 Esports. So they're kind of having to make a little bit of desperate plays. They're setting up for the Flame Strike, hoping that there's no Bone Mare. They're about to get boned.
There is a Bone Mare. Hesitation here to perhaps feign Spike Ridge Steed or something.
Sure.
But I like Bone Mare.
I like it a lot. Let's listen into G2 and see how they feel about this boning.
I think we just did on board. I mean, we can block and.
I mean, we Arcane Intellect, and I guess we see what we get, right? But we can get Glyph and Nova or something like that.
Should I Mana Arm first?
So we get a Glyph and then a Nova's one. You can Mana Arm, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it changes it.
Yeah, because it's only out, Glyph.
Block?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a difficult game. Yeah.
One. We're keeping this blade around.
Yeah. So I'm gonna run my Silverhand Recruit into the face first.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, wouldn't we want our Righteous Protector to go to face and trade off the because of redemption reasons?
Okay.
You convinced me.
All right.
Okay, so we hold the weapon, of course, and we probably steed something, right?
Yeah, we can steed the recruit, right?
What do we want to steed?
Should we steed the recruit, or should we make a bigger man?
So we're thinking about Blizzard mainly, but they can't really do anything with they'd have to Blizzard Frostbolt. That doesn't do anything. I think we do steed the recruit just to save the power on board.
Okay, I agree.
Just to get the most power saved. And then we play... Do we play Hero Power?
I would assume. We don't need board space, we don't need tempo.
It doesn't do anything, but they can't do anything next turn that interacts in a way to save them. They'd have to just stall.
3 and 4.
Yeah, next turn is a freeze or a block.
I say we play the 1/1 Divine Shield Taunt, just in case.
No, because they might Blizzard. I want to not use a card for my hand.
Okay.
Yeah. If they might go Blizzard Ball or face, right?
Yeah. There's really no way for them to get out of this. It'd have to be Glyph.
They found the spot the lethal puzzle.
Spotted it.
They saw Zolays from earlier. They wanted there. Alright.
3 games to 4 now, still in favor of G2, but the Paladin continues to play an important role in these series as Lovey Lots takes a win.
Yeah, it's just a really well-rounded deck. It's not at its best against Mage. That's why they didn't queue it up as their first choice, but mid-rangey threats just able to take care of business. And honestly, the more I think about it, we look at the Love You Lots Pirate Warrior deck, how it has a lot of early game stuff with extra nod towards aggro with the Fireflies and the Tar Creepers. Maybe that deck wasn't as good as Paladin against the Mage due to the fact that the Mage is so polarized. The Mage has lots of early game, lots of late game, no mid game, and the Paladin, I'd say, is a more mid-rangey deck. I think there might have been a misordering of decks there. You could definitely make an argument for it.
Well, I think the Pirate Warrior operates better versus what G2 has left.
Yeah, but the Pirate Warrior is gone now.
I'm saying I agree with you.
Yeah, I think, you know, as much as we like to say that, you know, the draw from G2 is insane that game, right?
Oh,
we can all agree that, for sure. And most of the time, I'd say Pirate Warrior is, you know, favored against that Mage deck. But is it more favored than the Paladin? I'm not so sure I agree with that based on the cards that we've seen from the deck. And they had information to all 30 cards because they played against it in a fatigue game the game prior with the Mage Mirror. So that's something to just consider about when you're thinking about like what deck to queue into it. The obvious choice against Mage is Pirate Warrior, but because of the tech choices, Paladin might have been better.
I think you might be right, but you know, again, it's easier to say that when in application their call fails and this one succeeds.
Sure.
So
it's,
you know, hindsight's 20/20
right.
in that regard. But you know, Love You Lots. These guys are really on point, and I know that all 3 of them do a lot of work where lineups are regarded in terms of how they queue and what they queue. So I am curious to see how the rest of this set pans out. I mean, Paladin, though, there's a couple matchups here I'm pretty concerned with, namely the Warlock.
Warlock is pretty okay against Paladin. I wouldn't say that it's a superstar against Paladin, but it depends what kind of techs you've made. The board clears to be able to stop Paladin from getting the tribal synergies going to try and stop Bone Mare and stop Spike Ridge Steed can be really effective. But as much as board clear is really good against Paladin, it's also really slow a lot of the times. Twisting Nether costing 8 is usually a little bit too late. You're in a too low of a life total at that point, as well as Hellfire damaging yourself can be really dangerous, and just not hitting the breakpoints against Paladin as well as it does against other classes.
Yeah, a lot of my experience with Warlock came in before Cobalt Scalebane was a a lot of Paladin
That's
decks.
a scary card.
And it is a scary card. In fact, I think that's one of the reasons why this matchup got a lot closer than it used to be. Paladin oftentimes, that 5 mana slot was struggling to redevelop their board. It was simply more Murlocs. But the addition of Cobalt Scalebane meant that any single minion staying on board suddenly presented a major amount of threat, because it was difficult to clear 2 as the Warlock, because your follow-up to the Cobalt Scalebane was so often Siphon Soul. So if there's a minion left on board, it gets buffed. And that can make it very difficult. But as we head into this game, it is Warlock that's queued up, and there's a Hungry Crab in the opening hand.
They've came prepared. G2 Esports is ready for the Murloc Paladin. They have the tech, and they've drawn it. That's another important part to winning with your tech
Hellfire.
card. Well, they don't need Hellfire because they're going to get the board.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my!
Are you kidding me?
They have respected Murloc Paladin a lot. We've talked about... All right, well, let's listen to G2 and hear their excitement about the success of their deck techs.
Nice one, bro.
It's gonna be a crappy game. It's gonna be a crappy game for them. That's what I know.
People are gonna see that. People are gonna say that we got lucky, but we went for this extreme deck building, and we went for something that nobody else plays. So we got rewarded. Like nobody plays crabs in their decks. So I wonder what they're gonna expect. Play the play the right one. Sorry, because you kept it. What if they don't Murloc all the game?
Well, then we win.
Great point.
What would Luther do?
I mean, it can pressure us with the 1/1 with Divine Shield, I guess.
Pressure us.
They have more time.
Not really. It's always going to be weak walking into Defile. Like,
I think we chum because
we
it's
can chum. It's only bad against Voidwalker, but our 1/3 doesn't really do anything against Voidwalker.
Yeah, so we have the upside of drawing rock.
Yeah, let's chum.
All right, chums, you talked me into it.
Good. Talked into what you wanted to do.
Yes. Okay. It wasn't difficult.
Yeah, they...
Okay, crab it. Yeah.
It's a 3/4. You trade with everything.
Yeah, crab it, and we could just go crab the Voidwalker next time.
They kept the crab. They crabbed us.
Okay.
Ooh, boy.
It's Vilefin.
Yep.
After thinking about it.
What if we hero?
No.
If we hero power, we can go Vilefin.
Sets up the rallying blade.
It gives you one
fine.
extra 1/1.
I want those.
But we can go
if we play Vilefin, they're gonna be afraid of War Leader.
They're gonna be afraid. They're gonna bump. Yeah.
They're gonna bump for us.
We need to make aggressive plays, I think, especially if there's Zoo. We don't have ways back onto the board.
So the plan is we're definitely going to draw something that costs 3 or less next turn.
Yes,
we're going to Vilefin.
That's the play. Yeah.
Okay.
If there's Zoo and they get ahead, we're gonna lose. And if they're handlock, well, then maybe hero powering is a little better. But okay, good talk. So
this game was awesome.
Do we think they have Keleseth, Shadow Step Keleseth too?
Well, let's figure out more stuff.
I'm gonna click some buttons. Not think about it too much.
I agree.
I can coin Spellbreaker, but I can also tap.
I'll tap. Just trade everything.
Yeah, we trade everything.
If they Megazord, we can just coin the Dreadlord, right?
Yeah.
And kill with a 3/3. Do we even need to kill it? I guess.
Yeah. You kill everything. I think we
still coin. Yeah.
We coin it, but we still trade.
Yeah, of course you trade. Yeah, just play for board. They cannot beat this. Like,
I mean, come on.
It's too much tempo. One mana 3/4 and you kill a guy.
Double crap! Wow.
Oh bang.
Yep. Telling me this guy costs 5.
Yep.
Unleash me.
They could still be.
So they just had a hard read on us being Murlocs this week. Damn. Brutal. Alright. We're gonna play a Tarim.
Yep.
Really just trying to buy time.
Yeah.
We want to see them. We want to see them cast a spell or play a 2-drop. With this kind of opening, I honestly don't blame Levulots for their sentiment here. They're trying to simply fish to find out if G2 Esports is playing more of a mid-range Warlock like Zooey package,
right?
Or if they're playing something more like Handlock with just the crabs teched in.
Yeah.
But this game has been absolutely demolished by the tech choices from G2.
And this is some important information that they got out. Just by staying in this game already, they get to see the Spellbreaker now, which means that there is no Prince 4 in the deck, which means there's likely Hellfires in the deck. So they're already starting to get some information. If they can see, which sort of bolt option the Warlock is using. Sometimes you see Shadow Bolt, and sometimes you see Drain Soul. So not usually is both played, it's usually one or the other. So they're trying to scout the information on what removal is being utilized here.
Clever use of the Spellbreaker as well to set the Dreadlord back to 4-5 to get the clean trade.
It would have been kind of cool to see him try and save the Spellbreaker so that Levulots wouldn't know if they had Prince 4 in their deck or Hellfires or not. But,
It's the good old Defile for 1.
There you go. So you can get a draw off the Mortal Coil.
Explosion everything.
Yeah, I don't think any team thus far in the Trinity series has respected Murloc Paladin nearly as much as G2. When you think about it, Warlock's already pretty favored against, or not pretty favored, but it's already pretty decent against Murloc Paladin with all the board clears and the ability just to slow down the game. Well, what makes it really favored is when you have the board clears and you can slow down the game and you have the hero power to tap into your tech card. It's kind of like how Hunter was able to do really well with the tech card crabs because of the trackings. Warlock has the life tap hero power to increase the consistency of drawing those crabs in the key matchups.
Yeah, Bone Mare not going to provide much of a relief against really anything here. Levulots is just about out of gas, and they are running very low on life, too. Actually, that's lethal damage with the Defile and Hellfire. Wow. G2 Esports with an incredible opener. Their tech choice pays off major as they now have a 5-3 lead and are 1 game away from taking this set.
Pretty exciting to see deck building get rewarded. Hungry Crabs, coming in huge here. And again, they're the only team that's playing this much respect so far I've seen in the first 2 weeks of Trinity Series to Murloc Paladin. It's the highest win rate deck in the format right now. And
in Trinity Series.
In Trinity Series.
Yeah.
In Trinity Series, it is the highest win rate deck, and they dedicated this Warlock exclusively to countering it because of that purpose, and I think that's a really smart thing to do. It's a very counterable deck, but a lot of teams haven't really been respecting it enough, and it's been running away with series. And G2 says, you're not going to run away with this series.
Well, with Rogue as the last remaining deck, though, something to consider is that there's now 2 Hungry Crabs in that Warlock deck. So that matchup definitely becomes a little bit worse.
Right. Warlock is kind of a weird deck. There's not too many cards, or there's a bunch of cards in Warlock that really can be anything. Because against any sort of the aggressive decks, you don't actually need threats to close the game. Gul'dan is enough. And in most control mirrors, you don't need threats to close the game. Gul'dan is enough. So all you need is utility and survival ways to get to Gul'dan. And sometimes Crabs is just the best option for that.
Yeah, we saw Galaka Crab in the Mulligan as well.
Right. They're probably running just all 4 Crabs. We've seen many players, we look at like Stan Sifka's Warlock earlier on in the day where he's running Gnome Feratu which could just be a Hungry Crab or a Galaka Crawler. It's just a 2-3 that has some secondary effect to try and impede your opponent from doing something, and he was targeting combo decks. So there are so many tech card slots in Warlock. I think it's a really great usage of the class, and you know, it keeps winning, man. I love Warlock right now. It's my favorite class by far, just because there's so much freedom and there's so many things you can do with it. Mainly, the linchpin there is just the Death Knight being crazy broken, which then opens up like 8 free card slots for you to mess around and play wacky stuff.
There's 2 things that I like in card games. Number 1 is hitting him in the face. Number 2 is blowing up everything.
Warlock blows up everything a lot.
I don't really like the in-between.
Okay.
Like I like combo nonsense.
I love combo nonsense.
Yeah, I know you do. I just like blowing up everything or hitting them in the face.
Whoa.
I either want to play for 36 minutes or play for 2.
This is a Fire Plume Phoenix in the hand for Love You Lots. It looks like they're playing some sort of elemental rogue.
Yes, they have favored Blaze Callers,
okay.
I know in the past. And, you know, Fire Plume Phoenix and Firefly together, pretty dead giveaway for that. Let's listen into the teams, though, and here they go through these mulligans.
Against Warlock compared to other classes, but on the coin it can enable some combos and stuff. And
all right.
You guys are the ones who play this deck more than me, right? Like, Muzz, what does your heart tell you about that Firefly?
We can keep it.
What does your heart tell you, though?
Keep it.
Okay. They have 3 kept? Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Great.
Very likely to have Galaka.
Why do you go?
Alright.
+1.
Just tap.
We tap here now. We can take some
face.
moments. We go face.
Yeah, tap, go face.
Yeah, I agree. But I want to take a little moment. So that we're not going to play tempo crap, you know?
It's dangerous that they have the coin, but we have decent AoE. Coil can also be good.
Yeah, that's a good end. I like this end, actually.
I'm gonna dagger up.
Yep.
And punch the 1/3.
Yep.
And end my turn. Do you think we should make the value bump?
They play.
What do you want to do next turn?
They play Earthen Ring, so it's not amazing.
So no. What if we just don't even attack it?
Well, I want to punch with our dagger. We need to threaten to kill it, right?
Yeah.
Or we should, rather.
Should threaten to kill it.
There's nothing else we really want to dagger.
I mean, we can spend our mana for a lot of turns, so we don't have to use... Like, this is the Farseer turn.
We're probably Fire Pluming next turn, right? So we don't need to hit it.
Are they keeping Farseer against us?
No,
I don't think we're necessarily fire pluming. Tar Creep into Tolver and
then I would probably hit it if we think we're gonna Tar Creep or Tolvier.
Okay.
I don't think we hit it. Like
okay. Zlay's right that we have all of our mana utilization.
Yeah, like Tar Creeper, Tolvier, like this dagger is going to be important. I think.
Dagger is going to go the distance. Yeah.
So what's the 1/3 doing?
Not much.
Don't you want to find more cards?
Yeah, but when do I ever want to play my Earthen Ring? Like, when is it able to trade with a freaking captain probably next turn? Like, minions, spells are... Like, spells are so good against Rogue. Like, every time I have a minion, I just want to play them, and I want the Rogue to spend the card in it.
If we play the Earth Ring, don't you trade the Voidwalker and heal the Voidwalker then? Or do you want to heal your face? I don't think healing face is that important.
Okay, that I can see. I can see that. Yeah, that I can agree with. But I like the body. Like...
Sure.
Spells are way better in the late game than minions.
I'm afraid of the mid game of Rogue, and if we have enough cards to stop it.
And then we have at least spells, then you don't want Earthen Ring.
And Flame Alley.
Yeah.
Okay.
We make any attack into that 1/3 with our dagger?
No.
Good talk. I don't want to either.
Positioning. My instinct told me to put Keliseth on the right and Ellie on the left. I don't know why, but it's my instinct, so it's probably right.
Okay. We don't have anything that cares about positioning, right? And neither do they.
No.
No, but my instincts lie.
The instincts lie. Come on.
They're very powerful. I understand.
Some of the best instincts in the business.
Consider Telnos because we have double Mortal Core too.
Nah, I think it's just like tap Drain Soul and then double trade. Or do you want a Talnos Coil? I don't know. I think Talnos is good with Defile. Like, we kept it with Defile, I think we should keep it for Defile. I think tap Drain Soul is the safest play. And then just trade the board. That's a good minion to have. Yeah.
This looks like a pretty good Fire Plume on the 3-2.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
What are they doing? They're gonna Dreadlord, and
that's their only 5. Otherwise, it'd be like tap 3 or a 4 or what?
Yeah. Is Tolvir better than Fire Plume?
Well, right now it's getting the Divine Shield eaten off in the easiest way. It also walks right into that Dreadlord, right?
Yeah.
I think we punch the 1-2 and Fire Plume, and then we can punch the 1-1, backstab, and trade into the Dreadlord if that's their play.
I mean, they could always trade the 1-2 in, but...
They could, but that doesn't do...
We don't mind.
Yeah.
That's just like saving our dagger charge at that point. If they Dreadlord.
Not bad.
Do we just Despicable Pass?
Yeah, I guess.
And we attack face with the Voidwalker, I think.
Yeah,
and the guy to backstab an agent, right?
Yeah, but then we just and then we go Telnos Devile. Like it's
or Talnos Coil. Yeah.
Yeah, like we will find a way. We just have to like get as much out of the hand, and we have the crap to deal with the pirate, and we have the spells to deal with a big board.
Do they even play pirates? Maybe they go pirate-less.
Nah, they play. They just are scared. We kept the full hand, man. They just are scared playing a pirate.
They've been holding 2 cards since the start that they kept in the mulligan.
You talked me into it.
Yeah.
Backstab.
Oh, wait.
They're gonna Siphon to prevent Coin Bone Mare. We're gonna...
They run Skullbreaker.
That's fine.
Whatever.
No. We tap Drake, it's fine.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you never coil or anything. Yeah, sure. Just tap Drake. Yeah, as long as we have a way to clear their board, we should be fine.
Coin Bone Mare is a little annoying.
I kind of like File Spine, but
that's what my head's telling me too.
Like if we coin the Bone Mare, the Vile Spine stranded till turn 8. Whereas the Vile Spine might be a Vile Spine, Bone Mare, and then
we get a dagger up as well.
Yeah, we probably start hitting with the dagger, right?
I don't think so. We have deckhands with boneless.
It kinda... Yeah, I'm... Okay.
You want to represent not having Bone Mare?
I kind of want to rep the no Bone Mare.
Okay.
And also
that's
I see us as going Bone Mare into 3/3 dagger again.
Okay, so coin, Vile Spine, dagger, punch.
Yeah. I want to get them spooked as soon as possible. But also not get them spooked about this Bone Mare. It's a touchy subject. Well, I think they're doing a very good job at actually not representing the Bone Mares here, but that is a big miss to hit. But so far, their elemental version looks like it's paying off.
Yeah, lots of mid-rangey threats in the elemental variation. We haven't even seen, the big payoff elementals that you're kind of alluding to in the mulligan there. The Blaze Callers have yet to come, and this amount of just late game in the tempo-oriented rogue deck, it performs really well against a deck that's trying to remove all of your minions.
Yeah.
Because every turn you just, boom, another minion, another minion, another minion. And if you're always only removing and you never actually have control of the board, then every turn you're going to be taking a little bit of chip damage when you're removing, a little bit more chip damage, and eventually that number is going to add up and you're going to die. So at some point, what G2 Esports needs to do is figure out a way to kind of turn the corner and actually solidify control of the board rather than just removing.
Oh my, and now this Bone Mare.
Bone Mare is going to come out strong.
We've seen the Galaka in hand for quite a while now, but G2, it's by the time I think that Lovey Lots develops Pirates, we're going to be looking at a snowballed board position. So the thing for Lovey Lots to think about right now, I think, is Twisting Nether.
Twisting Nether, right. And how they can utilize maybe some of their non-Bone Mare minions to create a board that needs to be answered by Twisting Nether rather than other AoEs, and then they can utilize Bone Mare plus South Sea Deckhand to get the damage in from the Bone Mare, as well as setting up a board that needs to be answered by Twisting Nether. That's the key.
Going on.
Warlock has many AoEs, but if you can play around or create a board that needs to be answered by Twisting Nether twice, usually they don't have both Twisting Nethers, and you're able to actually close it out.
Yeah, of course, if they were going to do that, I think it requires them to keep the dagger up so that they have the Bone Mare South Sea Deckhand next turn.
Right, they need that, because otherwise losing the Battle Cry is quite expensive. So they're really just trying to figure out any way that they can create a sturdy board that forces as much removal from their opponent as possible, or if they need to just go all in against potentially the Twisting Nether.
Let's listen to G2. This turn is looking a little rough here, but I think they have answers.
I think it clears it, right? Let me check.
Yes.
Yeah, it clears it all.
Yeah, I'm thinking what...
You can also use Mortal Coils instead as well.
No,
Yeah,
I would Hellfire Thanos Defy. I think that's good.
Like, we cannot do it with Thanos Defy. Oh no, it's not... It's too awkward. Yeah, like the Hellfire.
Wait, you can Hellfire and Mortal Coil Defile, right?
Yeah, but why not then just...
And you can keep Thanos Defile for later? I don't know, up to you.
But why would I go Mortal Coil and not draw it? Nah, then Thanos is better.
Yeah, then go Hellfire first and then go Thanos Defile. This is fine. Yeah,
we have another Defile. Oh, that's a good draw. Okay. It's a really good draw, the Voidwalker now, because we want to go turn 10 cooldown. We already played one.
It's also really good that you play the Defile and Thanos that we had in hand. They might commit to Pirate now.
Yeah.
Start with Swash, right?
Yeah, I want to see what's in that box.
It's a Soulfire. That's damage.
I kind of want to play all my Pirates.
Well, what about... Oh, okay, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. It pushes the most over time.
We want them to die so that we can win.
Yeah, I agree with that. Them dying so we win would be very ideal. We'll be...
So...
I can eat and then every pirate is 2 HP.
And then you can Coil Defile.
Yeah.
And Voidwalker. And do we need to tap?
We then have a 6... So the player is requiring 6 mana. I'm just thinking, do I want to tap?
You don't need any card.
Because I go Gul'dan. Like, if we go to 9, we can die to Backstep. Yeah, we die actually to Leroy, Coldblood Backstep, if I tap. Because the dagger.
Yeah, just like on
the cooldown will win it on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, that's good.
Oh my.
Bone Mare.
So I want to go Tar Creeper.
SI.
Do we SI the...
I think we SI the taunt, right? What's the Galaka doing? They're gonna... If they Gul'dan, they're rezzing 1 Dreadlord, 2 Voidwalker. We probably don't beat that. That's very unfortunate, given that it's very likely they have it.
I want to SI this.
The what? You cut out. I want to SI the 3-1. That's probably what you said.
Yeah, that's what he said. Why? What's the 3-1 do?
Your attacks for 3.
I think the taunt's way more relevant. We have a
the 3-1. If we do it on the 3-1,
we have a Tar Creeper up. We can't beat Gul'dan, can we?
It's more just that like we want to have board control, and the 3-1's bigger than the 1-3.
Yeah, we have a Bone Mare.
We need to be killing them, right? Or maybe
no, we need to be board controlling. So
yeah, I'm gonna SI the 3-1.
Okay.
And I'm gonna punch the.
Yeah, because we don't care about our life.
Because why not?
We hate our life, that's for sure.
We trade it in and go down.
Because we get it back. That's really good. No, trade it in and go down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying the 3-1 is better against this if we do somehow win. Ooh.
Okay.
That guy's shiny.
That's good.
So
there's no
that
lethal.
Shoots 4/5.
That shoots the 4/5, yeah. And then we just
kill a guy, weapon a guy, redagger.
Yep.
Flames consume you.
do we ever trade the dagger in so I can guarantee the dagger next turn?
It makes sense to me.
So let's see. It's bad against.
I just don't think it does much.
It's bad against like a coil or a dreadlord. There's one of each of those left.
He can coil our guy no matter what.
Coil our 4/2.
He eats our guy and trades.
Okay.
Yeah.
Start with the coil, I guess.
Yeah, trade coil and see what we get. That rogue deck plays the Shadowcaster too, but they don't have it earlier, so I guess we don't care
Do we
about it.
play the crap?
Yeah. No. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
It's a hero. It buffs hero power by 1 damage, basically. In this
Yeah, but it reduces the Twilight Rake by 1 health.
makes a difference for not.
I mean, we're gonna play Twilight Drake or Enforcer next turn. Like, I think we keep it in the hand actually.
Yeah, just keep it. So now
we're gonna kill it off.
They have the card from Burg.
Well, you can't do that, but we can swash still.
It's in the box. More boxes? Oh boy.
Play that.
That sucks. Yeah, we're playing it. Like. Then where's the Bone Mare go is the question. Probably on the Nosferatu because it's bigger.
There's also Galaka.
Yeah.
Take 1. What's good?
7's quite a bit better than 6.
Enforcer hero. Oh.
Oh
Yeah, you
my
got that.
god, ties. Jesus.
Yeah. Nice.
I felt that it was pretty good, so I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're dead. So.
Yep.
Soulfire Face.
I want to just reiterate that we're a trio of unhappy gamers right now. But I can tell you who's not unhappy, and it's G2. They take the set 6-3. Their target, the Murloc strategy, worked out pretty darn well.
Yeah, definitely. Respecting Murloc Paladin, able to just take it out very swiftly with their counter deck. And even with the techs in that deck, it was still able to take down a tier 1 deck, Rogue, which has been a ban of a lot of teams. So it just speaks volumes to the power level of Warlock and the flexibility of it. If you're able to tech it with 4 different crabs and still be able to take down a tier 1 deck is very impressive.
Yeah, and a big thing to note about that was being able to craft the lineup specifically for this purpose. On ladder, this deck is not going to function that exact same way. You're going to be playing against druids, you're going to be playing against priests, you're going to be playing against shamans, you're going to be playing against pirates. There's all sorts of stuff that's out there, but when you're able to manipulate the queue order that happens, seeing what your opponent has on deck and then queuing a lineup, a matchup into it, that's where you can build these wacky decks and get those big payoffs.
Right. Getting rid of Priest and getting rid of Druid is huge for Warlock. Warlock struggles the most against Priest, almost never wins against Priest. And then I'd say the second worst matchup for Warlock is probably Druid. So it's...
G2 got rid of Shaman in this match, though.
Yeah, they got rid of Shaman, which typically is a matchup where you want to have your Warlock against. But the reason why they did that, I suspect, is because they teched in these crabs, these hungry crabs, for the purpose of stopping Murloc Paladin. So they respect Murloc Paladin so much because the average amount of wins for Murloc Paladin is 2.5 thus far in the Trinity series. It is the highest win rate deck on average in the Trinity series. So they respect it so much that they banned Shaman so that they could guarantee they could save their Warlock to queue into the Murloc Paladin.
And granted, in the Druid matchup, they had the absolute nuts draw with Rogue.
Right.
But that is part of the goal of Rogue, is to get those strong draws. But it sounds like we have G2 for an interview, and Tice is going to be speaking for them. Tice, congratulations on the big win today. I believe Firebat, I want to give the first question here because of his analysis of why you guys banned Shaman.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about the ban. It's a very interesting ban. No other teams have banned Shaman yet in the Trinity series. And we're speculating, why. And we're talking about how much you guys showed respect to Murloc Paladin or potentially set up to sweep with your Murloc Paladin. Can you just explain what's going on with that ban?
Yeah, well, we feel that overall strategy also in picking phases, Shaman is a deck that might not have the complete power level, but it's also a deck that we are kind of just a little bit scared of with the lineup we have been running in the first 2 weeks, and I'm not sure if that will be continuing. We feel that bans are really flexible. There are still a lot of ban strategies possible. But we like the way how we build our decks. Some of our decks are super tagged, so they are also made for specific decks. And in that plan, Shaman was a little bit of a struggle.
Right. You guys bounced back super hard after your week 1 performance. Now going forward the next 5 weeks, is there any team in particular that maybe you're a little bit afraid of, or anyone that you're looking forward to playing against?
I look forward to play against every team in the league. I have been seeing. I have a lot of respect also for the other teams, also for Team LUL that I call them that we now faced. But yeah, looking forward to the next weeks also. I have seen. I look forward just to also play against Misfits. I have seen how much they practice also a little bit, so looking forward to that. But just in general, just the whole Trinity series, man, it's just cool to have the Hearthstone tournament back again.
And lastly, I want to ask you about that. In Season 1, you played with Life Coach by your side, but now Lothar standing in. How has the team been with Lothar being in place?
Yeah, we have a little bit different dynamic, of course, but we feel that we are, that it works now the way we are doing it, and we are having a great synergy with each other still. And we have some decks that everybody is a little bit better at, so that we can give each other some coaching. But yeah, we also give the pilots a little bit away. But yeah, it's a little bit. You have to get a little warm here in the early weeks of the league. So that is also what for us was probably also last week. We had some things in communication, but I think we managed to do also better now this week.
Well, Tice, it was a pleasure as always watching you, and you had some great draws, but I like your tech choices a lot too. Yeah. And your overall strategy, I think, really played together this week. Well played, and look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
And so with that, we now have some development in the standings as we take a look at it. G2 taking that win there, super important for them. And love you lots. They're 0-2 in Trinity Series now, back to the drawing board.
Yeah, it's really unexpected to see Love You Lots come out as 0-2. They are an exact copy of the team that finished second place in Trinity Series Season 1.
Yeah, Muzzy standing in place, of course, of Frozen.
Okay, yeah, the one change, sure.
Yeah, who was part of that team, but there's the standings. You see it, Virtus Pro completely flip-flopping the way Season 1 looked for them. They started out 0-2, now they're 2-0 here, and Complexity Gaming still looking like the team to beat. They won Season 1, and they have a 2-0 start here.
Yeah, they've just been absolutely knocking it out of the park, and I really like how well G2 has been adapting to the metagame. They've been doing things differently than everybody else. We've seen a lot of players have the same exact bans. We've seen a lot of teams have the same exact self-bans and bring fairly similar archetypes with maybe like 1 or 2 changes. But no one has been experimenting with the bans as much as G2 has, and they're kind of setting the standard right now for the ban metagame with their success here.
Some things to look out for sure. I think it's going to wrap things up for us here, though, as Trinity Series in Week 2, Day 2 comes to a close now. Firebat, do you have any final thoughts for us?
My final thoughts on the broadcast? I think we did all right. Way to go, Admirable.
Thanks, Firebat.
No problem.
Appreciate it. It warms my heart. And I'm certain I'm going to send a tweet about it, and then your mom's going to warm my heart with a retweet on that. We want to thank everyone for joining us, of course, here at the Intel Esports Arena. Trinity Series is brought to you by Intel, by Twitch, and by ESL. Without them, we wouldn't be able to have this spectacle of an event to put on for 7 weeks of regular season play, plus the live finals December 8th through 10th that will be taking place. So again, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Firebat, for coming into the Trinity Series this week. But that's going to do it for everyone here. From production, from Firebat, and from myself, thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next week on Trinity Series.
seeing this?
Game, record, and stream without compromise. Only on Intel Core i7.